Marbles. Today we're going to play the game called The Wreck, published and developed by The Pixel Hunt. I think this is a French studio. And on Steam, they are having the text in this 3D visual novel. Follow failed screenwriter Junon as she attempts to make it through the most pivotal day in her life. Relive the past, alter the present, and embrace the future. Or, without your help, Junon's story might end in a wreck. So I think this is a game about, choosing your own adventure. I think it's going to be emotional. I think it's also going to get psychological at some point. But overall, I'm expecting to play an atmospheric or maybe even a philosophical game. I'm not ready with my handkerchiefs here. Maybe it's not going to be necessary. I have no idea how long the game is, but we'll see. Quickly checking this out again. There's the streaming mode is on, and I also put the motion sickness reduction on. Sometimes it's really heavy, and I don't want to barf at the end of the stream, so that would be horrible on stream. All right, then I'm ready to go, and I think I have to click here. This is not my desktop. This is part of the game, which is super nice and well made here. It's even showing the right date and the right time. So let's go. Welcome to Screenplayer. Start new screenplay. Name your new screenplay. Oh, I like this sound. Phenexa HD. This is not my keyboard, it's the in-game keyboard. Hi, Booba, hello there. Welcome. Happy Pi Day. Oh, damn, I had no idea. We don't see it? What do you mean you don't see it? I'm confused. Why is Doc saying we don't see it? Oh, if I'm barfing, yeah, but you're gonna hear it. An old speed-up car is speeding through the countryside. Okay. Hope the sound is okay. I think the sound might be a bit too loud. Give me a second. I think this is better. It is a French game. The Wreck, click to start the game.
Confession. I love crappy romantic comedies.
There's voice acting. Okay. No time for chilling, for me at least.
Yeah.
Confession.
Yeah, it's
okay.
a cliche. I can't help it. I love them. All those movies have that scene, you know? The girl is at her wit's end. She's been crying her eyes out. Her makeup is running. She looks like a zombie. She's done.
I'm not clicking here, by the way. It's automatically happening.
Which is when Ryan Gosling knocks on her door to coax her out.
Ryan Gosling, okay. I didn't expect that she's going to mention the actor. Miss. Oh, shit.
Ah, shit. That sounds nothing like Ryan Gosling. See, this is the problem with my life in a nutshell. It's not romantic, and it's certainly not a comedy. All right, where am I? What happened?
I wonder... Ah, okay, so... I was wondering why this is a bit red here. I can choose. I think we're in a hospital. What happened?
I felt woozy, and then really, really hot. And I guess that I fainted.
I can click on fainted or in this one now.
and that's putting it mildly. I'll be alright, though.
Are you sure?
Sure.
Aha, as if I could be sure of anything. Still, I should probably update my guardian angel. Actually, now that I think about it, maybe there's something I know for sure. If I have to spend one more second lying on this filthy floor...
You know, this art style is very interesting, clicking on the very big words. With the different choices, I guess we're gonna have. Filthy floor, or yeah, sure, I'm good. I mean, we said this, right?
I'm pretty sure that I'm going to vomit.
Oh god, she's also talking about
vomit
this.
again, I guess.
I'm just a little nauseous, is all.
I'm just a little nauseous, is all. I just had a little bit of a moment. A big moment. But it's over now. Sorry, I ducked out. I'm already feeling much, much better.
It's quite interesting, this perspective. Better. One of the bad things about daylight savings savings time, now your stream doesn't start until 1 p.m. in the afternoon for me because it was 12 p.m. Oh, I see.
I can hardly tell her the truth, can I? Most people don't actually want you to be honest with them.
That's true. Like the first lie we're probably all starting our day with, like, how are you doing? Nobody's gonna rant about their lives or things they're getting bothered. Like we always, yeah, it's okay. Could be better, could be worse. But people are gonna get surprised if you're actually ranting about your life. I'll be out in just in a second.
I'll be out in just a second.
First, everyone, good
Those
morning.
weren't here
Good
before.
morning, FC.
Do you think they have any idea where they are?
I'm sure this comes as a shock, but it is crucial that you understand the situation. Your mom had a brain aneurysm. Do you know what that means?
Mom. Funny. I could never get myself to call her mom. She's always been Marie to me.
Marie.
As I understand it, it's a weakened artery wall?
Correct. And that artery ruptured, which caused a hemorrhage. It is a serious situation. We need to prepare for whatever happens next, very quickly indeed.
I've watched enough Grey's Anatomy to know that this is not good.
I never watched Grey's Anatomy. I'm not sure if I missed something. Are we serious? Oh, you can also just say morgen in German. Or if you're coming more from the northern part of Germany, you can also say moin moin. But this is also fine. Say morning. You don't need to say good morning. We.
We? I don't know anything about medicine. I work in administration. It's mostly paperwork. I am not going to tell her that I'm a failed screenwriter. She would never take me seriously.
A failed screenwriter. You'd be surprised. I mean, a
Anything
great,
related to
and then
medical
just
care
lay
will
out
be
their
my
problems to
team's
me.
responsibility.
That's scary.
You are her trusted advocate.
I'm
So
sorry,
you should be
her what
aware.
now?
Do you not remember? This is the reason we called you. We have your name and your number, which means that you signed the release.
I have no idea what she's talking about.
Yeah, I've also no
And
idea.
Since she's not able to express her will, it falls to you to speak on her behalf. But I presume you discussed that when you went through the process. So you must know that there are a number of options to consider.
Fuck, this sounds very serious.
I don't believe it! She put my name on the form without asking me. She must have forged my signature. It's hardly a surprise. She's always done that kind of stuff. But I'm not making any important decisions.
I'm very surprised.
A phone call from the hospital, that was a surprise. I'd never have thought anything so serious would happen to her. Anyway, when she's back on her feet, she's going to have a good laugh about this. The idea of me deciding on her behalf. I've had my share of this kind of responsibility, and it didn't turn out well. However, my dear mother doesn't seem to understand. Of course, Jan will have her say, and if we disagree, all hell will break loose. Pitting us against one another at a time like this, That's exactly what my mother would do. I feel trapped, like a fish in a barrel.
A fish in a barrel.
Oh, come to think of it, I would love that. A 30-second memory, and not a care in the world. Fear me, sharks, for I am the terror of the oceans. That reminds me of the nickname I got during swim class in middle school. Sea hag. Haters, all of them.
I'm sorry, Miss Fortin.
Demange. I went back to my maiden name.
I'm sorry, that wasn't in your file. Listen, I understand that this is all very sudden, but we don't have a lot of time. We need to focus.
We do indeed.
This is one of the reasons I was just thinking. I'm an organ donor, and actually a lot of people don't know that, but I'm carrying this for since I hit 18. I'm carrying this with me. Like in Germany, you're having like a card, where you're writing down that you are an organ donor. Because I don't want to put this on my family members. I don't want that my family members are deciding this over me. It's not a big deal for me, but I know it's always hard for the family, you know. I don't carry the card on me, but it's on my desk. Yeah, I guess you could also do that. The problem, I think it's just a problem that I wish there would be like a system where you could write this down that you're an organ donor. We don't have like a general system here. Yes, I am. Actually, it's not a big deal for me, but I was just thinking, I don't want to put my mom into the situation if something happens. So think about this, chat. Please think about that if you want to be an organ donor. Don't let your friends, a partner, or family decide about this, because I think it's going to be very, very hard for them. I think there are people going to think very emotionally. I should sign up as well. Yeah, maybe this is a good point about talking about that, since we're having this situation here right now, I think. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, it's just...
It's okay. I understand. It's not an easy situation. Our major concern right now is the hemorrhage is spreading. There's the risk of a cerebral vasospasm. That is a complication which could severely affect her brain.
Is she going to die?
We're doing our best to make sure that doesn't happen. But there could be long-term consequences. This sort of event severely impacts the body, and mental functions may also be impaired. I need to know if you and your mother will be able to deal with that sort of complication.
This is exactly how it feels. You're hearing all these words, but you can't really focus. You're hearing words like long term. You're hearing impact the body. You're hearing impaired. And these words are just spinning around your head. This is so well made here. So well made. So does that mean you have donated an organ? No, that means in case I am dying, or my brain is not alive anymore. That means I'm dead, and the doctors can take your organs, and you can donate. So I never did an active organ donor. I think you can only do this with your what was it called? Oh, why is Pretzel setup installing now? Give me a second. Oh, never mind. We're still here. No, okay. So yeah. This game doesn't take place in the US, right? Because healthcare stuff. No, it's in France, I think. I think it's those are French developers. I saw the car plate. It was France as well. And that's why we gotta upload our minds to the Nexus. Hopefully not. I would never do this. I would never have a clone. I would never allow that. There are so many, I'm sorry for saying this, but there's so many mindfuck episodes in Black Mirror. I really don't want to do that. I don't want to. I'm thinking about impacts the body.
I'm not ready for this. No, it can't be. Holy...
I don't understand.
I don't understand.
To be completely frank, if we're able to pull your mother through this, there's only a small chance she'll be like she was before.
Small? How small?
Smaller than that. In all probability, she will never be quite the same. Some people would prefer not to keep living under such circumstances. That rather their medical care were geared more around letting go as gracefully as possible. What I need to know is, what would your mother want?
I don't know how to answer that.
Yeah, this is why it's important
Last time
to
she
talk
told
about
me
this.
she wanted something, it was...
All or nothing. Niere, I think it's called kidney, right? That's the only organ you can donate while being alive. Otherwise, you can donate, of course, you can also donate blood and plasma. But other than that, you're not going to be alive. No. And yes, I think, I agree, Thug. I don't want to talk anyone into anything, but it is very important, yes. And this is maybe a good point to start thinking about that. Yeah, I never made a big deal out of it, but I also know the situation in Germany is very critical. We don't have a lot of organ donors, so think about it. Hi, Pine. Hello there. To be in MoMA.
Be in MoMA.
Excuse me?
MoMA? The museum in New York.
Always wanted to go there.
Miss Demange, Wait, your mother's that Marie Demange? The artist?
The artist.
Ah, there it is. Works every time. Once people figure out who Marie is, snap! Their whole demeanor changes. They feel like they know her somehow. Of course, they're completely wrong. Oh, she takes them in with her dog and pony show. But there's a world of difference between who she is in public and in private. And if this doctor knew Marie, the real her, she would realize how ridiculous her question is.
But she doesn't know. She's just doing her job. I think you're out of your mind. Yep, the Marie Demange.
Yeah, the Marie Demange. And I'm her assistant, I guess. I handle the business, the management, the press, so that she can be fully dedicated to her art, you see? Anyway, the other day, I got a call from Centre Pompidou. They want to do a retrospective on her life and work. Can you imagine? The billboards, the crowds, the press,
I think
the
she's
whole
just
shebang. And
being
I'm like,
in such a
hell
shock
yeah.
right now.
I hop into my car, I rush over to tell her, I run into the workshop, yelling, and you know what she said? Did you hear from MoMA? Ugh. Someone had told her they were considering her Self-Portrait 8, a canvas from her latest series. A whole exhibit in Paris, on the other hand, she didn't care. So, that's my mother. Most of the time, I don't know. I have no idea what she wants.
I know what I'm asking isn't easy. I can give you a little time to think.
Like that would change anything.
Yeah. I suppose.
I suppose I need to think about it. I'm sorry, I gotta go.
I'm not sure how long you got time to think about that, but it must be just hours, right? Ezrex, why are you roasting yourself? Think your brain cells are completely fine. She recently signed up for bone marrow donation for potential imagined blood cancer. That's super nice of you. Thank you for doing this. Thank you very much for doing this. Running away. The music is pretty good here, and we're in the streamer mode here. Hi, Bernie Bird. Thank you for the lurk. Thank you. I appreciate it. Welcome.
I know what she'd say. That I'm running away again. What did she expect? That I just show up and what? Decide whether she lives or she dies? I don't even know how I'm supposed let alone...
Oh, shh! Oh, no! Oh! The hero with 1,000 faces? Oh, God. Am I dying? I got goosebumps. I actually got exactly the same pencil. What happened? You know what I learned in the driving
remember.
school? You
Jen
need to
and I
hold the
found
wheel,
a
and
ninja
unfortunately,
bird in the
don't dodge.
backyard.
Don't
It
do
was
that.
tiny.
No! No!
I think it was around the time Marie had set up her new studio in the sunroom. Now that
Always
I
the
think of it,
birds.
that was also my first experience with death. In fact, I also had a really weird dream that night. Something about that day always seemed off. I never figured out why. And why am I thinking about this now?
Left click to advance, right click to rewind. Interesting. Depreciation. Humor is best sometimes. Laughter is the best medicine. That's true. And if you can't make fun of yourself, who can make fun of you? That's very true. I think this is so important. You're right about that. But I think you're a smart person. I'm gonna rewind, I think. It's weird to see.
Do you recognize it? This is the mobile that Marie made me
This
before I was
perspective.
born. It's exquisite and delicate. I loved it. And you did too. I think I still have it in a box somewhere.
The bird theme. Oh, this is looking like my old logo, those wings. The bird theme is here quite often, huh? What's this? Shadow.
I think I saw a big shadow moving down the hallway that night. I imagined a monster bird was visiting us. For a long time, I thought it was just a strange dream.
I really wonder if it's like this. Are you seeing your life just passing so fast? So many birds. Wait, there was something else here. Paintings.
Back then, Marie wasn't very well
The
known,
cardinal.
but she was hardworking. She had just started a series on birds, actually. They were all over the house. She considered them a symbol.
A symbol.
A postmodern symbol of anti-anthropic levity. Classique Marie.
Birds.
Marie was always quite passionate about birds. So I suggested we keep this one as a pet once it got better. I could already imagine it. A beautiful cage tucked in the corner of the studio. She got so mad. At the time, I didn't understand why she reacted like that. But now...
Marie.
Marie told us she'd take care of the birds, so we went back to playing. I never saw it again. And when I asked what happened, she said it just flew away. I was so relieved.
No cockatiels. No, but I think those birds are all wild birds. It's just so unfortunate in Germany, or I think it was in whole Europe, there are no cardinals living here. Unfortunately. A little baby. Oh. Suitcase.
Yeah, Diane was so proud of packing her own suitcase. Her father came to pick her up that afternoon. She spent the weekend with him and her stepsister. I was a bit jealous, but also happy to have some time with my mother. Just us.
The nest?
The nest was high up in the tree, but the wind blew it down. The bird was obviously young. It was a big fall. It must have
Oh,
been
you need to
badly
take
hurt.
care.
I didn't realize it at the time.
Have you played What Remains of Edith Finch? Yes, I did. I did. It's such a good game. It's so good. It also reminds you of this one, right? Yeah. Going even more back. Did I see everything now? Or did I miss something? Because we did this already. The camera is so interesting. Cardinals are very beautiful, yeah. I think here they're living more in the USA and Canada. But I think this might be a robin here. Garden door.
Now I know for certain that someone was in the backyard that night. And since Diane was at her father's, it must have been Marie. What was she doing out there? Maybe...
Did I miss something? I think it feels like that. Everything is gonna get white again, right? It's also so trippy. Nope. I think I'm missing something. What a nice gallery, by the way. A nice workshop. Kill?
Maybe Marie killed the bird. That's what she was doing out there in the middle of the night, burying it in secret. And it might sound strange, but I also understand why she did it.
I don't think that's necessary. Just looking around, but I don't see anything. I don't want to see a suffering bird. This is so hard for me, little baby. This is unrealistic because birds wouldn't lie like this. They're not conures. These are not like conures. I'm missing something. How can I go? What am I missing? All or nothing.
Marie is really an astonishing person, you know? She's usually hard, but also she could be vulnerable sometimes. She couldn't stand seeing the bird injured. She knew it would never recover. It was too weak. I remember she said, not being able to fly, that's no life for a bird. She thought it would be better off dead. She could have just abandoned it, let things run their course. But I don't think she did. I think she killed it with her own hands. It sounds cruel, doesn't it? But that's just Marie. That's her outlook on life. She's all or nothing.
Everything is crumbling. Oh, that was our association. Oh!
What I need to know is, what would your mother want?
All or nothing.
I'm not ducking out. Not this time. After all, isn't this what Marie wanted?
I think...
I think... My legs are shaking. Maybe I'm having another turn. I think I need a sugary drink.
Understood.
Do you need anything?
Well, I need more coffee. But if I drink another one, my stomach's going to declare war on the rest of me.
I just can't speak on my mom's behalf. One thing's for sure, she's a radical.
That's
She's
quite
all or
interesting
nothing,
that she's
all the
saying
time.
Marie instead of mom the whole time.
I understand. It's hard to contemplate the idea of living with a disability.
It's not that, not at all. If we were talking about me or someone else, I would say, it's gonna be fine. You adapt, people do it all the time. They have to. Life's too important. I would say that. She wouldn't. I'm not sure that answers your question.
She certainly comes across as rather forthright.
You don't say.
I've seen her on TV a couple of times. My father loves her. She's an extraordinary artist. In her interviews, she's so impressive, fierce even. It must be quite something to be the daughter of someone so talented.
I've heard this one before. That's a polite way to say, it can't be easy to have a nutcase for a mother.
Gracie tries to lie in my hands like that, but she's a dog, so it doesn't work. She's a bit too big for that, yeah. Any game where birds are hurt is psychological horror to me. It's hurting me. It's hurting me, and it's always birds. The birds are the symbol. Like if anything weird is happening, birds suddenly dropping right from the down from the sky. It's annoying me. I don't know. Take other. I don't know. Take humans. Like. I don't know. I'm not getting bothered by humans in movies. I don't get bothered by that. But birds, it's so sensitive. Relatable. My stomach hates coffee. I want my coffee now, to be honest. We don't know yet. We can only speculate. Oh, you think it's her stepmother? I think it's actually her mother, but I don't think they have a good relationship. She might be very focused on her career, and maybe she didn't have much time for her kids. And this is the result out of this. Reminds me a bit of Bart and Homer Simpsons from The Simpsons. Bart is never calling his dad dad. He's always saying Homer. They're having also a bad relationship to each other. I don't know here. I mean, she also doesn't know what she wants. Also, it's still a very emotional experience they're having here. It's because everyone loves birds, so they dive slow. I guess so. I also hate to fight against birds as bosses. I hate that. For me, birds are also a sign for freedom to me. Of course, yeah. Maybe I should start calling my mom by her first name. I don't know, it depends. I don't know how she would react. My mom would react very weird. Like, what happened to you? Is this Mimi? Who are you? You got used to it. It's quite an experience.
You get used to it. Doctor, do we know why? Why this happened? We were just having dinner last night. She was fine.
There could be a lot of factors. Family history, hypertension, alcohol consumption.
I did have a pretty severe hangover this morning.
Even past trauma, like a historic head injury. It's hard to say right now.
Ah.
I think I know
Alright,
which
Miss
movie you're talking about,
Demange,
Yanni. I
I'll
think
give
it's
you time to
Magnolia.
think.
Let's speak again in about 2 hours, if that works for
It
you.
was Magnolia, I think.
Sounds good. Can I see her?
Because suddenly
Yes,
there were a lot of
course.
birds dropping
Let
from the
me
sky.
find out her room number.
It was very traumatizing for me. Is this it? Hi, Arza. Good night. Good night to you. Sleep well.
I know what I have to do, what I should do. It wasn't that long ago that I could write this kind of scene without breaking a sweat. I step into the room, there'll be tubes everywhere, beeping sounds. The audience will know that it's serious. Then I start bawling my eyes out. I collapse on my mom's bed, pouring out snot from my nose.
I can't even imagine calling my mom by her first name. Like, it's unfathomable. Yeah, I feel the same. So quite interesting what this is saying. If I did this to my parents, it would be like I disregarded their role. It's quite drastic, actually. I kind of want to test this out now. She would think, who is this clone, probably. Quite interesting. Thanks for refreshing my memory with that. Of course, I think it was Magnolia. We say Miss or Mr. or Miss, Mrs. last name. That would be super weird in Denmark. You guys are weird. In Germany, we're also saying the last name. To be honest, German people want to have a lot of... We're not having low hierarchies that much, especially not in schools. I don't think if I would like this. It's weird. So, if newbie would be a teacher, people would not say your last name. That's weird to me. Bawling my eyes out.
Maybe I'll be dignified, stony-faced, standing quietly in the corner. Close up on my face. They'll see I'm suffering deep inside. A single tear rolls down my cheek.
Parents would have been confused at first, and then my father would have asked, "Are you okay?" My mother would have looked angry. Yeah, it's... I never thought about this, let's say it this way. I'm suffering.
That's exactly how it will happen. Or what should happen. There's just one problem.
I have to go in.
I really must. She probably needs me.
But I can't.
I don't know why, but I can't open that door.
I would force myself to open that door. I know it's not nice.
It's always stressful to share an elevator with a stranger. Still, it could be worse. Hey, June. I could have to share it with my sister.
Diane.
Okay, I'm kidding. We love each other. Love giving each other a hard time. Okay, I love giving her a hard time. For instance.
Hey, Didi Doo.
Hey, Didi Doo. Nothing?
I haven't eaten yet. My blood sugar's low, okay? Come with me to the cafeteria.
Okay.
But if you utter that stupid nickname one more time, I'll strangle you.
Oh, God.
There it is. She had me worried for a sec.
This food looks nasty.
Did you notice? Jan loves being in charge. She wasn't always like that. It started when she was a teenager. Some people get acne. She got authority.
So, how's work?
You know, scheduling, phone calls, spreadsheets. It's mind-numbing. There's no time to think. That's why I love it so much.
How's your script coming along?
Oh,
script.
I never should have told her about it. I guess I had a moment of weakness. I thought she would worry less about me if she knew I was working on something creative. But why did I even think she was worrying about it in the first place? She doesn't seem worried now. Better change the subject.
And how are you?
And how are you?
Well, since you ask,
So easy.
I was doing good until yesterday. One of my idiot patients up and groped my ass.
Dan's job.
She's a physical therapist, working with professional athletes.
Okay.
She spends her days massaging pretty boys with 2 brain cells and 0 self-control. She's the best in her field, I've heard. All the major soccer clubs are fighting over her. Probably because she has her own story. She almost became a tennis pro at 17 years old. She was really strong.
Damn.
And then there was some kerfuffle, I don't know what happened, but the league didn't have her back, so she just gave it all up. I've never seen her so angry. Though today's a close second. I wonder what happened to that guy who was stupid enough to grope her.
I'm sorry, Diane.
Oh, Jan, I'm sorry.
Why? It's not my first rodeo. But that pathetic little virgin really pissed me off. Anyway, he has a broken hand now. Good thing he plays soccer, not volleyball.
The worst part is, she's not joking.
Yeah, I also think so. Mm-hmm. Good description. I agree.
In other news, this place is so stressful. Everyone's way too nice.
It is a hospital, Jan.
I know. They should be scowling 24/7. So, how is she?
I haven't been to see her yet.
What are you waiting for? A singing telegram? Sorry, that was uncalled for. This whole situation, it's just a lot.
Yeah? Sounds like there's something else. Something else bothering you?
No, nothing else.
Wanna bet that there's something else?
Well, I guess, I did meet with the doctor this morning. She told me about your deal. Between Mom and you. And, to be honest, I was shocked. Were you going to tell me at some point?
I knew it.
See? I knew that this whole trusted advocate thing would never fly. The only question is, will she believe me when I tell her I didn't know? Given the state she's in, I wouldn't bet on it.
Drank a few beers with one of my uni teachers. I think uni teachers are also a bit different than college. Not college, but high school. I never did this. For me, I don't know. I don't want to get close to people who are, I don't know, guarding me. And I think this is also like a common rule in Germany. There's always one teacher, it feels like, at a school who's like, yeah, you can call me by my first name, but usually it's like always the last name. What's written on our shirt, by the way, any translation, please? I have no idea. Something with Soleil. We'll see in a second. Maybe I can translate it. I looked that scene up, and I'm pretty sure it was in Magnolia, but a movie called The Core. Okay. I don't know The Core, I think. No, I don't know this one, but I remember I fell asleep to Magnolia, and I woke up when all the birds dropped down on pretty much everything. That was very shocking to me. Yeah. Love that we got the choice to pick to listen to the lore behind it or continue the dialogue. Yeah, I think I also figured out that you should not rush through the dialogue. You can always click on the words here to get more background information. That's super nice. It was Il est mort or something. We'll see. We'll see in a second, I guess. Look, I'm sure you're upset.
Look, I'm sure you're upset.
Of course I'm upset. We just found out that Mom might die. Does that mean nothing to you?
It does. Of course it does. But it's okay. I'm handling it. You know,
Il est mort
I'm
must mean
perfectly
like he's
capable
dead.
of making this decision. Just leave it to me this time.
What's going on, June?
And yes,
I'm
they're
sorry?
sisters.
Something's wrong.
Could be the grapefruit. I read somewhere that it's really toxic. And,
No, it's not the grapefruit. I don't recognize you. You're different.
Oh no.
Ooh, she wants to talk. Seriously.
Do we really want to have this talk right now? I don't feel like I don't want to.
That's just her way to cope with stress. She needs to dissect things to understand them. And she needs to understand things in order to control them. So, what's the play? Idiot or goldfish?
I wonder who's the older sister here, by the way. Goldfish.
Maybe if I say nothing, she'll leave me alone?
She should realize that I really don't want to talk about this.
And don't pretend you can't hear me.
I guess I can't get out of this one.
You're acting like some kind of robot. You're all closed off. And you clearly aren't considering how I feel about all this.
How I feel.
What's the game here? Where's the Jen I know? She's got some nerve lecturing me as though nothing happened. I'm not gonna lie, she's not entirely wrong.
That sounds highly
I
wrong.
haven't
huh?
exactly been brimming over with empathy recently. It's not my fault, you know, it just makes it easier to get through the day. For me, at least. I'm not sure how anyone else manages.
Maybe I'm a little bit distant. Quit it, Diane. I really don't want to talk about this.
Come on, quit it, Jan. I guess not thinking enough about you makes me egotistical, huh? In case you hadn't noticed, my life has been rather complicated of late.
See? That's exactly the problem. Okay, this is going to make me sound like a huge asshole yet again, but I'm used to that. I've been meaning to talk to you about this, so why not do it now? We're here for Mom, and you can see how hard this is on me. And yet, here we are, yet again, talking about you. What happened to you was awful. It really was. Absolutely horrible. But that was 5 years ago.
Now I can also read what's on our shirt. Il est mort, le soleil. I think it means the sun is dead. 5 years. Some teachers we had were pretty chill. They even came to the Abbey party. Was invited even though I stopped school 1 year early. We did. Because of course we weren't allowed to make an official party. Okay, I see. Isn't that kind of weird when a teacher is showing up on a party for, I don't know, 17 years old people? I think that's kind of weird. I try to remember, I think my youngest teacher, she just finished university and she was doing her referendar. I don't know what this is in English. But you have to do this in Germany to be a fully teacher. And I think she was around 30. Around that. Maybe even older. 33, 4 or something. I think that's kind of weird going to a party where 17 years are old. I don't know, people who are 17 years old. But I also don't know. I don't know, yeah, how they're thinking, like, of course. Had nice convos and they were drinking with us. I still think that's weird. A bit over 30. I don't know. That would be a bit weird to partying with my teacher. I don't know. I would feel uncomfortable.
It can't be 5 years.
What happened 5 years ago?
It can be 5 years.
The realization is hitting.
It can't be 5 years.
And her voice is changing so much.
It was only yesterday. Why the hell is she bringing this up anyway?
Where are you going with this? God, she's still. By the way, did you know I exist, Tom? I don't think so, but I think the relationship is also kind of complicated. I don't think they were talking a lot to each other. So this is kind of escalating now. This is a huge crisis for both of them. And now it's the time to talk about a lot of things, but also at the same time, I don't want to. I've got other worries right now, but also, yeah, we need to have this conversation, I guess. Where are you going with this?
Where are you going with this?
I don't really know. I guess I'm a little worried about you. I don't understand what goes on in your head, and that scares me. Why are you like this?
Really? She's worried about me?
I think she is worried, but it's her own way to show this. I feel nothing. Oh, it's gone. Maybe I was just thinking too much. Now it's gone. You had to go there, didn't you?
You had to go there, didn't you? You really, you can't help yourself. Whenever you can't control something, you just hate it, don't you? And so, pow, you attack.
You're wrong,
Pow.
June. I'm just trying to help. You can't really tell me that everything's fine, can you?
Do you think that throwing my little problems back in my face is going to help? Oh, wonderful, wow. Oh, it's a miracle, I'm cured. Thanks for the therapy session, but I really have to go. Obviously, you can handle everything just fine on your own, so go ahead and take care of Marie.
Wait, June! Don't leave, please! I'm sorry. I really need you.
Wow, she said, I'm sorry, I really need you.
Dumbass.
And she's still walking away?
Dumbass.
I don't like this behavior. Proper communication is missing, honest.
Should I be honest? Do I have to? I just grabbed the first opportunity to put up a stink so I could get the hell out of there.
I also had a
Of course I'm
feeling, yeah.
weird. And I can see how that might freak her out. But she wasn't telling me that because she cares.
It's gonna happen again, right?
Her lashing out to hurt me.
Yeah. I hate this scene. They have not been in touch out here. No.
You know, Astrid, memory is
Not
weird.
at all.
You suddenly remember these moments without knowing why. For instance, one day I visited a fishery. This was a year or two ago. I was writing the script for a promotional documentary about lobsters, a freelance gig for the Agricultural Chamber of Brittany. Truly the crowning moment of my career. Although for real, I loved writing it. It felt good, going outside, meeting people. And lobsters are fascinating animals. Shall I tell you what I remember?
He often chooses to flee instead rather than fight. Maybe she's also doing it because she doesn't want to say bad things. Because sometimes I'm also catching myself doing this. But I need to calm down and then I'm coming back again and then we can talk about things. Good night, Jan. Sleep well. Démarre, j'en pense, pour lui. Fertile.
Female lobsters may lay over 100,000 eggs in their lifetime.
Holy
They
moly!
keep each clutch underneath their tails for several months. And when the eggs finally hatch, out come a profusion of larvae.
Oh,
just
I
a few
pinch for you,
millimeters
was
long.
saying.
Can you imagine? Over 100,000 tiny little streets.
Lobster soup is so delicious, by the way. I was thinking about lobster, but I never ate like I don't know. I never had those pinchers, you know. Dear FC, oh dear FC, thank you so much for the gifted. Wait, you gifted 6 months. Oh, that's so kind of you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Dear Pan, enjoy the emotes again. Thank you so much, FC. That's so generous of you. Thank you. I'm very much more of a let's talk this out now and fix it type of person. I know, but sometimes it's helping just to, for me, it's helping to calm down, to see things from another perspective. I know sometimes it's looking like I'm running away, but I need to control myself that I'm not getting louder with my voice. I realize I'm tending to do this, and I don't want to hurt the people I love. I don't want to do this. And thank you, FC, also for the 300 subs. Thank you so much. That's crazy. Thank you. Thank you very much. Save.
Lobsters have a chitinous exoskeleton, a durable and tensile material that protects them fully. This natural barrier is so strong that lobsters have no natural predators. In short, no one can mess with lobsters. Except humans, of course.
Yeah, humans are messing up everything, to be honest. Anything here? The perspective of a lobster. Lobster simulator. Astronix. It's good to walk away sometimes, yeah. Immortal.
Lobsters are a mystery to science because they
Dude,
don't
there's an emote for
Their
everything.
cells replace themselves perfectly, which allows them to never stop growing throughout their lives.
I love useless but fascinating nature facts. It's so interesting too. The good thing is we're forgetting about that, and it's going to be interesting again in a couple of months again. Did you know they're getting this color because they're getting boiled? That's the reason. Anything? I'm just gonna start again. Is it true they're boiled alive? Hopefully not. That sounds insanely cruel to me. It's true? Really? Oh god, then I'm never gonna eat them. Okay, I'm never gonna eat this again. Holy moly, no. That sounds horrible. I'm missing something. What was it? What is it? Last time it was some burbles. Now it's a lobster. It's interesting to see this from the lobster perspective. And they tape the claws. Love.
Everyone loves lobsters. Their exquisite and delicate flesh is prized by the finest gourmets. With a little garlic butter, lemon, or mayonnaise, they're delicious. They're on every great chef's menu. Lobsters are a symbol of wealth and luxury.
In German, lobsters and other crustaceans are usually placed alive in boiling water and are thus subjected to minutes of agony. Holy moly, I had no idea. Thank you for letting me know in this. I will never eat lobster then. Who's trying to protect Pan? No, and made me know. I need to know the truth. I need to know that. That's a good question. Is there a good reason they boil them alive? Or is it just seems unnecessary? So this is a killing method. Otherwise, maybe they don't know how to kill the enemy. But it's a sweet summer chat. Aesthetics. We want to learn. Isn't there another method? That sounds horrible. Boiling lobsters alive is a way to reduce the risk of food poisoning from bacteria that live in their flesh and that quickly multiply in their carcasses, according to Science Focus. Plus, they have been deemed tastier and better presented on the plate when cooked this way. Then I'm not gonna eat it. Why should the animals suffer because of me? Have one thing in common. Once they are dead, their meat spoils in a very short time. That's why crustaceans are sold either live, pre-cooked, or frozen. But they're having pain. Dude, just imagine, you know, I had some boiling water on my feet, and that was the biggest pain of my life. I will never forget this pain. Absolutely never. I was because of this in the hospital. And I imagine this is all over the body. I was screaming because of the pain. They gave me drugs and I could still feel the pain. I was not even able to speak anymore. The doctor, like the emergency came over and they gave me drugs. I could still feel the pain, but I couldn't say any word anymore. I was like, ugh, I was just talking like this. And now imagine this is happening to your whole body. I know how it is to get burned. Holy moly. It's horrible. I will never eat lobster again. To be honest, I only had lobster soup, but I'm pretty sure that's also happening to the lobster with the lobster soup. Basically, lobsters are not meant to be eaten, and that's why they must suffer. That's messed up. I also think that's completely messed up. Like, if it's so risky, why are we doing it? Probably also with the same with the fish. What is it called? The bubbling fish? In German, it's called Kugelfish. Human are curious. They are. Oh, goodness. Okay. Newbie, did you hear this? Because I know he also loves lobster soup. Pufferfish, thank you. Like, it's this the same. I think you can only eat a little part of the pufferfish. To be fair, I did not know this before this, and now I won't be able to eat lobster or crab again. No. No, Newbie, did you read what we're talking about, dude? In real life.
That was the official line. The one I got paid to write. But I dug deeper. You can call me a lot of things, but I'm nothing if not conscientious. I learned a lot about lobsters that the Agricultural Council wouldn't have approved of. Ugly truths we'd rather hide.
It's poisonous. It must taste well. It's crazy to me. It's crazy. So all the seafood, with all seafood like this. Goodness. Never tried anything related to lobster. I only had lobster soup. The poison adds a bit of spice. That's would it be poison? I think it's insanely dangerous to eat pufferfish. Doomed.
Female lobsters may lay over 100,000 eggs in their lifetime, but few will reach adulthood. The larvae will be gobbled up by passing wildlife. The young ones will be poisoned by water pollution. Their livers filled with heavy metals and microplastics. And those who grow big enough will be plucked out of the sea by humans to end up on a fishmonger's stall.
The life of a lobster in a nutshell. They're getting poisoned by metal and microplastic. Speaking of human beings. It's making me sick, dude. Just wish human treated nature like it should be. With respect and care. I agree. But I think we're insanely far away from this. Very far away from this. I mean, just look at the rainforest. Pray.
Lobsters have a chitinous exoskeleton. But sometimes they feel trapped in it, so they molt. They leave their shells behind and expose themselves.
Oh,
Until
I
their
heard
skin
that.
hardens again, the world is full of predators. Carnivorous fish, other arthropods, and humans, of course. Because when they've just molted, when they're soft,
Stay
lobsters are
hydrated,
their
chat.
tenderest and their tastiest.
What a dangerous life. Nature is beautiful. That's the one thing I do like about America. Our national parks are amazing. It's also why I want to visit America at some point, because of the national parks, yeah. Other than that, I'm a bit scared. I think in Germany we're saying it is very highly recommended to get a healthcare, like to get a special healthcare if you were traveling to the USA, because the cost can get very, very high. It's like an animal documentary, a bit, right? Rotten.
Lobsters don't age, but after a while their shells do, and if they can't make a new one, their current shell will wear out. It will split. Bacteria, fungi, and other diseases might seep in through these cracks, and then the lobster will rot from the inside.
What the hell? This is so cruel. I will never forget these facts. And cooked.
Everyone loves lobsters, but to truly love them, first you have to cook them, and to cook them, you have to kill them. There are two ways, traditional or modern.
Speaking of, what's the modern
The
way?
modern way is to stick a sharp knife into their head. But since their nervous system is distributed through ganglia that run down their back, destroying the brain doesn't kill them. Not immediately. They'll spend a long time
Oh
in
my
agony. Lobsters
God.
don't want to die. But the people who love them don't care about that.
This is horrible. As an American, every time you wake up in the morning, you get a $100 bill just for thinking about healthcare. Oh God, thank you for making me smile here. I just had tears in my eyes. Lobsters have it so tough. I feel bad for them now. Same. Why are we thinking of lobsters now, though? It must be a symbol here. And yet more disturbing lobster facts. I think the traditional way was with the water, with the boiling water. But the modern way, yeah, everything is in agony.
All this to say, being fake? Writing pretty lies? That doesn't bother me. Between my clerical work for Marie and those PR gigs, I learned to tune it out. No one wants to know what's in my head, but maybe you do?
It's also something I'm quite often saying, you don't know how it's inside my head. Nobody knows. It's only you who knows that. This chapter is very sad. I'm so glad we're playing this together. Good emotional support. Alone.
Lobsters have a chitinous exoskeleton that limits their growth. As soon as they shed it, they're in danger. Their enemies notice their weakness. They can smell it, like sharks smell blood. If they can reach a weakened lobster, they'll devour it. They'll tear it apart and feast on its flesh. I don't want to be eaten.
No, nobody wants to have that. The only thing which is bothering me, maybe I'm doing something wrong, but I'm seeing the scene over and over again. Alone?
Lobsters don't age. In fact,
But
they
we
can
had this already.
never die at all. If they just stayed in their holes, they'd never get sick. They'd never get harvested or trapped. Unfortunately, lobsters grow.
Okay, that's something
Maybe
new though.
that's the big difference between them and me.
Everyone knows how it's in my head. It's pretty empty in there, except for lobster facts, apparently. I'm pretty sure you know way more than that. I was thinking this exact same. Yeah, I think that's a bit repetitive, gameplay-wise. I wish that would be just a scene.
Everyone loves lobsters, and that love is what's killing them. If no one loved them, we'd let lobsters live happily at the cold bottom of the ocean. Lobsters don't need to be loved. Me neither, to be honest.
I think you meant to, maybe to drive home the point. Because it's different style. It's always a bit different. So we are doing a bit of progress, I think. I mean, the other scene was also like that. We saw the bird over and over again.
Female lobsters may lay over 100,000 eggs in their lifetime, and they'll never watch them grow up. You might think that the sea is salty from all the tears shed by lobster mothers, but they don't cry. What good would all that sorrow do?
I mean, it's good they're not getting emotional, I guess. If you have 100,000 kids, and a lot of them are not gonna survive. I feel that could be executed in a better way, though. I'm not sure if I'm doing this right, even though there is not much you can do about it. It's super confusing to me, but I think this is the gameplay. I agree, it could be executed a bit different. Yeah, if it's point and click, then let me be in one scene and look around, you know, but it's always the same. Baby number 1, baby 2. No, they're kind of gonna call them Astronix and Desnix and Pan. Hey, 70,100. No, 71,938 dinners ready. That's funny. I feel nothing.
You know, Astrid, memory is weird. You suddenly remember these moments without knowing why, until you realize it's trying to teach you something crucial. That day,
Hi, Thug. Welcome back.
I learned that I needed to be stronger than a lobster, to never molt, to never get eaten, to just hide in my hole.
This is what I was
Never
thinking
cry.
about. It's a symbol
That's the
here.
only way that I could keep on living after you died, my little fawn. I don't want anything. I don't expect anything. I feel nothing.
Why are you like this?
I feel nothing.
She's right. I have been weird lately. Honestly, I'm glad she noticed. You're right.
I am? Because I was starting to think that I was just being a dumbass.
Oh, you're totally a dumbass. You can't just bring up Astrid's death out of the blue and throw it in my face. But you are right. With her gone, something inside me is broken. I just don't feel anything. Everything just slides off me. I'm Teflon. Sealed off. Like a damn lobster.
A lobster?
And you're right, it's been 5 years already. But I'm still trying to figure out how the hell I'm meant to reconnect with my life.
I understand. I mean, I know I can't understand, but I think I get it. Is there anything I can do?
She doesn't want to say anything
help?
wrong here.
I don't think so. Well, you can keep on beating up idiots, but that's more of a public service than for me specifically.
I will. You know, I admire you.
Sure you do.
You've always been the sensitive one.
Sensitive. Why is she saying this now?
That's classic Marie right there. I'm sensitive. By which she means weak. Not strong enough for the world. Obviously, I pale in comparison to the formidable Diane.
That's something I would not say about other people because it's some kind of an attack. I mean, I would say this about myself, but I don't think I would like to hear this from another person. I'm a bit confused. Is this an alternative Radna? I think so, yeah. What would happen if we would have talked to her sister here? It was super nice that we could see Astrid outside the shadow. We were talking about that Astrid is not alive anymore. And then she was gazing a bit and watching out the window. And then she saw Astrid. This whole loop thing, it really throws me off, sadly. I feel the same. I think there's a really nice story behind, but the gameplay is throwing me off as well. And unfortunately, I need to I need to get a little break here because I need some water. So I'm gonna be right back, like in 1 or 2 minutes. But in the meantime, I'm gonna give you the verbal cam, and yeah, I'm gonna be right back. Hi, I'm back again. How sweet is this? You can't see this right now, but Leo moved away and he's very close to Zazu and he's nibbling on his branch. That's very sweet of him. He could have just done this with his branch, but he wanted to be close there. Oh, that's very sweet. No. Wish I could move the camera, but little boy. Well, I'm back again. And we stopped here. And when I came back, I realized it's a very cinematic game, though. The perspectives are reminding me a lot like we're watching a movie together. Yep, that's me. So fragile.
Yep, that's me. So fragile.
That's not what I mean. Mom raised us to bite before we get bitten. That was the only way out she could see.
Thank you.
And I guess I took her literally.
Thank you, guys.
But you weren't like that. You knew how to listen. You got people. You were less scared of them. I always loved that about you.
That's new. What the hell do I say to that?
I bet as Phenex, if you would be a bird, a lot of people would compliment you on your chest as well. That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Yeah, right. Knock it off. I don't know why it's so difficult for us to just talk. Maybe this is why Mom chose you.
And we're back.
That's something I would also not say. Are you bitter right now? Bitter is... I would say, what's upsetting you? Tell me. But bitter is, I don't know, this, it's having some negative connotation.
Are you bitter right now?
Certainly not.
Certainly.
No. I mean...
You are bitter. You're pouting. Look at your fucking face.
Enough, okay? Stop it. This isn't the time. I just don't get it.
What is there to get? You know Marie. She's unpredictable.
Good night, Pan.
Wait, you mean you didn't know?
Well, you should see what my signature looks like on the form.
Oh, she's the worst. Why would she do that?
I have no idea. I guess she thought it made sense since I handled the rest of her paperwork. Unless she thought I was a perfect fit since I'm a Libra with Pisces rising or whatever.
All right, but still, it's a big responsibility. And it's a bit weird to ask you, of all people, to make that decision.
Stay calm, Junon.
What am I supposed to do? Scream in the middle of the hospital cafeteria?
I don't think that's a good idea.
That's not my style. Although, the way this day is going, it might become my style.
You can be pretty clumsy. You can't cook a meal without setting the house on fire.
Et voilà. I'm never going to live that down, am I?
Depends. Have you figured out a safe way to brown-baked Alaska yet?
Whatever. This isn't the time to rehash all that.
Really, I don't get it. This is so important. Why would she trust you over me?
All right, I've had enough.
Trust me. Oh, I was too late. You know what?
You know what? You're right. Only an idiot would trust me.
Ah, come on.
Yeah, here it comes. You're the reliable one, aren't you? The one people can always count on.
What are you talking about?
Oh no, this is
I know.
escalating.
I'd probably just trip over her ventilator or something. Wouldn't want that to happen now, would we?
You're being ridiculous, Junon. Please, sit down. I didn't mean to upset you.
Oh, you didn't? Well, you got that wrong.
I hate that I'm talking like this. I hate that. Stupid.
Well, that was embarrassing, wasn't it? I just can't help it. So Mom wrote my name instead of hers on a worthless paper. What does it matter? Dan and I are stuck in this stupid
You know, this
competition.
scene reminds me a
I feel
bit
like I
of
can't escape
Road
it.
96. Except the car crash. Oh, I hate this. I still hate it. The lighter? You should never drive angry, by the way. I agree, and that's also what my driving teacher said back then. Don't drive with heavy emotions. Don't do
Of course
that.
I'd remember that day. My infamous 25th birthday. The day we met Diane's girlfriend.
Is this Astrid?
The day we danced a little, ate a little, and drank too much. But most of all, the day everyone went home early because I set the kitchen on fire while making dessert. There's plenty about that night I never told Diane.
Well, let's start then.
Alex called several times that night. He wanted to know how things were going. He had a hunch things would be tense, and he wanted to be my emotional hotline. I didn't answer. I wanted to fend for myself. It's why I didn't invite him in the first place. I'll admit, sometimes his support was stifling.
How could you burn a kitchen by making dessert? How is this possible? Like Homer with making cornflakes for, what was his name? Mr. Burns, and it's also on fire. With sheer determination, with the right attitude. I guess so. Exuberant.
Diane always loved being the center of attention. But when she showed up with her hair cut short and dyed green, I almost didn't recognize her. 19 years strong on this earth, and she couldn't care less about people's opinions. She was amazing to me. But I wonder if she was, at least unconsciously, trying to please Marie. It worked, by the way. Marie always had a soft spot for the rebels, and contempt for the rest.
So she's the younger sister. I'm the older sibling.
I don't think it made Diane any happier, though.
Coming out.
It was the first time Diane introduced us to her girlfriend. Her very first girlfriend. She didn't make a big deal of it. She didn't even tell me that she would have a guest. But I knew it was important to her. And neither Marie nor myself reacted appropriately.
How did I react?
I was furious. It's stupid, I know, but I wanted to enjoy my party. And she showed up with something important to share. All of a sudden, my 25th birthday seemed trite, unimportant. In fact, from the moment Diane and her girlfriend arrived, I no longer mattered to Marie. She rushed over to hug them both. I don't think I'd ever seen my mother so excited. Then she congratulated Diane for her rejection of patriarchally mandated heteronormativity. Diane didn't say anything, but I could see she was upset. Her intimacy had just been reduced to activism, somehow. Her girlfriend was called Sasha. She was nice, intuitive, smart, and very pretty.
She's feeling like her sister is stealing the show, even though it feels like it should be her day. Perfect.
I was quite reluctant to organize this party. It was the last birthday I would celebrate at Marie's. Your dad and I were about to move in together. So I wanted to make it special, to impress my mother, earn her respect, maybe even her admiration. But that would only happen if everything were perfect.
I have the same interpretation, yeah.
The fire made it a complete failure. But to be honest, she'd have found some problem anyway.
A gift.
I wasn't expecting Marie to have a present for me, and yet she remembered. I'll be honest, I was super happy. But as usual with Marie, things couldn't just be nice. I hope you like it because it costs me a fortune. That's what she said when she handed me the bottle.
That's not necessary to say. You can also just get some cheaper one, but without mentioning it was costing a fortune.
I hate whiskey. I hated it then, I hate it now. She could afford it too. She wasn't world famous yet, but her career was taking off. And with that, her taste became more and more luxurious. Me? Oh, I was light years away from all of that. That's how it works with Marie. Even when she does something for Jan and I, in the end, it's always about her.
You see, there you can see they have a very difficult relationship to their mom. And the fire seems very important in this chapter. I mean, look at all the colors here, all yellowish. concern.
When dinner started, Marie turned on the charm. She laughed loudly, talked a lot, asked all kinds of questions. She has the most unbelievable charisma when she's trying to please someone, you know? And that night, she really was trying. I thought it was odd. She certainly wasn't doing it for me, or for Diane. And then I noticed the way she was looking at Sasha. I saw the glimmer in her eyes. The same as when she talks about Japanese whiskey. And I got worried.
How would she flex on? You don't need to flex like this. And generally speaking, you don't need to flex. You can just be a kind person, and that person, I mean, the daughter would have appreciated it. I think this chapter is, by the way, so much better than the lobster one, because I don't feel like I'm wasting so much time. There's like every few seconds I can find the next word. Wasted, for example.
I was so stressed out that night that I started drinking early. Marie loves to drink, so does Diane, and her girlfriend Sasha followed along. Long story short, we got drunk fast. All four of us. We had booze, we had cigarettes, plus the other stuff.
Other stuff?
I don't have to tell you everything. And after a while, Diane was completely out. She could barely stand.
Close.
So yes, Diane and I were trapped in this ridiculous rivalry. The choir girl versus the rebel. The meek
Tactile
versus the
Desnix GB from
indomitable.
Minabonamonscape.
Abonnementscape. Deathring, thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to Des for the gift itself. Thank you so much. Very kind. Hi Death Dragon, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Welcome. The meek versus the indomitable.
I'm never taken seriously. She's not allowed to show any sign of weakness, and we hold it against each other. But as soon as we lower our guard, we are saddled with the obvious.
Maybe the fire should symbolize that they had hardly any contact afterwards because everything went to pieces. Maybe, yeah. I'm seeing the fire as a very big cut here. Usually things are not under fire that often. If this is happening to you, then it's going to be a very remarkable evening, I think. And it's showing the very hard relationship to your family, I guess. Cut my life into pieces. This is my last fire. Yeah, could be one interpretation. I think it's also on her birthday. If this wouldn't have happened on her birthday, she would not remember this so much. I mean, there are no other guests invited. It's a very private party they're having. And it's just going completely downhill. At least in her perspective. The obvious.
It's become more intense as we grew in Marie's shadow. We care about each other more than anyone else.
The Heart. What is this book about? The Hero with 1,000 Faces. So that's also the same book we're having in our car. Clumsy.
I've got these nice candles to decorate the table with. Obviously, I burnt myself when lighting them. To no one's surprise, that was typical me. Scavus, they called me. It means clumsy in Latin. Marie coined that one. I didn't mind. Quite the contrary. In any family, everyone plays a role. You just need to find the one that suits you. And I like being the bumbling, fumbling one. That way, at least, the pressure was off.
Especially if she wanted to introduce her friend for the first time. Yeah, I mean, Wise's sister, for example, like, I would do that. I would call my sister and would say, hey, if it's okay to bring up my boyfriend, it's completely fine when you're saying no. I'm not gonna get mad at this. I'm just asking before I'm doing something wrong. Communication, you know? I understand both perspectives. I would ask to bring someone, yeah. accident.
The flames went up very high, very quickly. Everyone ran into the kitchen. Marie, Diane, and Sasha.
Marie, I would like to know more about my mother.
Oh, she screamed at me. She couldn't believe that anyone could be so inept. I said it was an accident. I was trying to brown the baked Alaska, but it got out of hand. No one questioned my version of events. The whole thing was just classic me. Alex wasn't there to defend me, and I just sucked it up. I never saw Sasha after that day. She and Diane broke up a few weeks later.
It was a classic. Okay. Of course it's an accident. You're not doing this on purpose.
Maybe I was just drunk. Maybe I was imagining things. Maybe I was paranoid. But when Marie invited Sasha to her studio to see the paintings and more, ooh, that raised a flag. She was up to something. She was trying to seduce her. And maybe she could have. I tried to warn Diane, told her to watch out. She was too far gone. I had to do something, but I couldn't face Marie.
Can you hear the
head on.
crumbling noise in the
I wasn't
background
strong
again?
enough, so I improvised.
So what am I missing now?
No one
Arson.
noticed the bottle of Japanese whiskey was completely empty. Alcohol burns nicely on the stove. It was perfect for me to craft a diversion. And you know what? I wasn't even that drunk. I was mostly angry. At Marie. At myself. At my inability to confront her face to face. Maybe nothing happened after all. Maybe Marie didn't try anything. I'll never know. But I was scared enough for Diane's relationship that I set the kitchen on fire.
Trust me.
I never told Diane what happened. She still thinks I'm a bumbling idiot. I can't tell her the truth, and she wouldn't want to hear it anyway. But what I did that night, I did out of love. Marie always said that you can't trust anyone in life. Well, in that moment, whether she knew it or not, Diane could trust me.
Why would she trust you over me?
Trust me.
And here we go again, trying to see who can spit the furthest. But you know what? I'm not playing this game. She needs her sister today, not a fight. You know,
I agree.
I get it.
Get what?
Why you think of me this way? The chump who keeps screwing things up?
I never...
I understand because that's my little routine, you know?
What are you saying?
Secret.
What's wrong with me? I'm not about to tell her all my dirty secrets. That wouldn't be like me at all. Although I guess this is a pretty good day for confessions.
It's not easy existing between Marie and you. Should we say that? Talking openly about things. She's flirted too much, and now she fears to fight even. But this would be quite the opposite if you would say that.
It's not easy existing between Marie and you. Between the overbearing artist and her gifted little go-getter. So I figured if I played the klutzy ditz, I wouldn't need to compete with either of you.
If I'm so gifted, why the hell did I choose this grapefruit? This thing's disgusting.
That's my dee-dee-doo. Open your heart a tiny bit and she gets all uncomfortable. I told you it's toxic! Understand this. We both know things can be tense between us. It would be easier if I could act like this is all her fault. Jan's competitive spirit is unmatched. She has to be the first in everything. You can make her a little stupid sometimes. Oh, just like when she was training for tennis, or when we did hamster races.
Hamster races?
Yeah, exactly. Racing hamsters. Pretty cool, huh? We had these hamsters for a while. We won them at the village fair.
Oh, you
Marie
heard
hated
that,
them,
Zazu and
but we
Leo?
were allowed to keep them as long as they were out of her sight. And Jan always wanted to race them. Hers
Race.
was really slow. It lost every race. It was an embarrassment. She had this whole training regimen, but it wasn't enough. So she brought out the big guns. And one day, her hamster was hyped to the max. Absolutely smoked mine. And that night, he died.
What the hell am I listening to? They're fighting a... It was just a small bite.
It wasn't hard to get the truth out of her. She'd fed him coffee drops. She was kind of sad, but not really. At least he went out on a win, she said. I could act like I wasn't anything like her. But that's not true. I just pretended that I didn't care. Truthfully, I also wanted to be the best. At the very least, I wanted to best her. As if we were always competing with each other, and it was exhausting.
Some days it was hard.
Some days it was hard. But whatever happened, I've always tried to protect you.
I don't need anyone's protection.
Yeah, it sounds weird when I say it out loud. You're the strongest person I know.
And you're built like a sea cucumber.
Look, all I'm saying is, I was always on your side when it mattered.
Are you talking about Mom right now?
Not just her. Yeah, I'm totally talking about Marie. I'm talking about the fact that you're my sister, and that's special to me. And I know it's the same to you. Listen, Diane, I have no idea how things are going to play out with Marie. And it's true, I have been feeling out of it for a little while now. But I do know one thing. That's going to help us.
What do you mean?
I mean that being a psychopathic robot has its perks. Cool heads prevail. And I think this is going to help us make the right choice. The best choice for Marie, sure. But for you and me, too.
Maybe.
Why are you looking at me like that?
It's just... I'm not used to seeing you like this. You sound confident. It suits you. Alright, so what do you do?
I have no idea. But I'm not going to tell her that right now.
Stop fighting, hold each other by the wings, and sing
need to
beautiful
find a
songs
different tack.
together. That's not gonna happen. You know your mother. Right now, there isn't much we can do. What would I say? I get this impression that June struggles to find a balance. Either she's hard and rough like a stone, or distant and evasive like the wind. Like the wind, interesting. I think she's just trying to protect herself to not get more hurt. I think that's why she seems so distant, you know?
Right now, there isn't much we can do. The doc sounds like she knows what she's doing. They're putting her through a battery of tests. They'll figure things out. So, I think we will have to wait and see.
I can't. No, I just can't. I'm not going to sit here twiddling my thumbs.
We don't have a choice, Jan.
Of course we do. We need to stay on top of the doctors. They need to do their absolute best. Come to think of it, we're not keeping her in this hole. I'll call my dad. I'll bet he'll have a buddy in a private clinic somewhere. We're not leaving anything to chance.
She wants to move her
Why
from
aren't
here?
you saying anything? You're with me, right? We need to fight, don't we?
I don't know, Jan.
What do you mean? I don't know, Diane. If we were in her place, you know very well what she'd be doing. She'd do everything in her power to make sure we pulled through. We owe her that as well. Don't we?
I can't take any more illusions of control.
You can't always do something, you know? We're also accepting things.
You can't always do something, you know? Running around all over the place, yelling at doctors won't help her just because we think it will. It doesn't work that way. It never does. Sometimes you just need to let go.
Let go? Let go of what?
See, Diane, maybe this is why Marie chose me. She knows that I can keep a cool head, that I don't let my emotions take over.
That's
Bullshit.
not true, by the way.
You think this isn't your emotions doing the talking? You go on and on saying that Mom is the worst mother ever. Do you seriously not think you share some of the blame?
What? What do you mean?
You know very well what I mean. She could have died in that car.
Could have died. Alternative routes makes it even harder. Yeah, you know, there were a lot of moments where I was thinking, what would be if I have done this in the past? But in the end, it's not helping me at all, because I'm here right now. And I need to deal with it. I need to live with the consequences.
Marie was also in the car that day. You remember my little phone? I can't remember why. She was going to town for an errand, I think. I parked in front of her house. She sat in the front, and then... she was by my side when I woke up in the hospital. Jan's right. Marie could have died. And the doctor said that this sort of thing can happen due to trauma from years ago.
So it's all my fault then?
So it's all my fault then? Are you saying that? All of this is happening because of me?
Of
Yeah,
course
lots
not,
of
but since
temperature.
the accident, she's given you work.
Or
She's
not
done her best
temperature.
to
In
help
German, you would say that.
And you just
Temper.
want to let her die?
Not temperature, temper.
Shit, I'm not going to give up on her. If you hate her, that's your problem.
You're out of your damn mind!
Oh, come on. You're so transparent.
Shut up! I don't want to hear any more of this. I'm leaving.
I do that too, unfortunately. Sometimes I live in the past and think about different choices. Yeah, I think we all did this at some point. It's super hard to live in the moment right now. My head is somewhere between past and future. It's very hard. Freak out. Be the best version of yourself, and no one can take that away from you. No one can complain about doing your best. That's so true. Very true.
Damn it! Did I really have to go off like that? Maybe she's right. Maybe we should fight, just like Marie taught us.
So it reminds me of my relationship with my brother.
Do I really have to be so angry? Do I really hate my mother?
Oh, I think I need to take this again, the sparrow. I'm not sure. It was highlighted. My eyes. I love when Lydia is so horned to care of birds. Are you playing Skyrim? Lydia, tell me how hard can it be? Lydia, tell me how hard can it be? But we were here at the beginning. The MVP from Skyrim. I remember she died so many times. I had a mod at some point where she couldn't die anymore. Did I make a mistake by clicking on that? Family.
When will Dad get here?
He'll get here when he gets here. Soon. Don't worry.
Can't wait. Tomorrow we're visiting Buckingham Palace, and Lizzie says I'll get to taste real fish and chips and... Oh, sorry, Junon.
I've never really been jealous of Diane's family. I was too fascinated by the concept of a family. That was an incredible discovery for me, and so beautiful to see. I was also worried for her. She had a dad and a stepsister. She had something to lose. I only had Marie, and Marie is immortal, so I was safe.
Oh, are we going through every chapter again? Stepsister, yeah. So they have different dads, right? Wait, there was something here. Cannibal.
So, why do you put the elastic bands around their clothes? Is it so they don't cut your fingers?
I appreciate the concern, but no, ma'am. Without the bands, they would just eat each other.
When the guy said that, my mind jumped to my mother. She used to warn me about people and how dangerous they could be. Even me, she said. Don't trust me. Trust no one but yourself. Oh, it was exhausting.
Strong.
Wow! I'd forgotten how muscular you are.
And are you jealous?
No, I like it.
All right, Junon. You're my sister. This is super embarrassing. Especially since you're drunk off your ass.
I've always found Diane's presence comforting. She only has to stand by me and I start to breathe easier. It's funny how you forget the obvious stuff as time goes by.
If I can't even trust my mother, who can I trust? That's an interesting question. I think most people grow up with a mother, and that's gonna be the first relationship you're gonna have with your dad. So I think if you don't have that, you might have. I'm not a psychotherapist. I'm not a professional in this case, but I would say if you can't do that, you might have some, maybe even trust issues. But maybe it's also a concept, you know? It doesn't need to be the mom. But I think I know what you mean. Care.
You see, my little dear, there are some things I'd have loved the chance to tell you. For starters, growing up means figuring out what you really care about and what you're better off without. I never understood why the whole world was such a threat to Marie. It damaged me, growing up that way. Now, I've had enough. Diane has always been a reassuring presence in my life. Although I never knew how to tell her. We had completely different lives. We're not affected by the same things, but I hope it's not too late to tell her that I care about her.
can adjust yourself. I would talk to a professional, listen to the feedback. Yeah, you need to listen to your body. I don't even
We owe
trust
her
myself
that
when
as
I tell
well,
myself not to eat the
don't
whole
we?
pizza box in one go. I feel you with chips. It's the same with me with chips. Care.
She's terrified, actually. My little sister. I need to comfort her. Show her that I'm here for her. That she's not alone. You know what? Right about now, there's nothing we can do for Marie. Nothing at all.
But
I know this bothers you, and I understand. But that's how it is. It's out of our control. So I'd rather pay attention to what matters the most. Family.
And that's what exactly?
It's you. You're my family, Jen.
What about Mom?
Marie is different. That's just how she is. She's... Sure, we're part of her life, but we can't expect much more than that. Marie, she's alone against the world.
Literally, Marie.
I think she'd be furious if she knew she was surrounded with Jesus stuff.
Jesus, stop.
This is a former charity hospital. It's not holy ground anymore, but the new owners apparently thought it wouldn't hurt to keep a few statues around. I guess this is as good a place as any to hope for miracles.
Next week, chips. To be honest, every weekend chips. Chips like in potato chips or chips as in something else. I never know with the European. Don't mess this up with the British people. They are saying to chips crisps, I think. But I'm talking literally about chips, you know? Like nachos, for example. But they are not made of potatoes.
After all, whether she admits it or not, Mom has one thing in common with the biblical
Nachos,
Mary.
so good.
Both of them had a child whose father was shrouded in mystery, which makes me baby Jesus. I'd prefer not to end up dead on a cross, though.
No.
Considering what she's been through. As a kid, I mean.
What is she talking about?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? How do you know what she went through as a kid? Did she talk to you?
Once. One night. I didn't really understand. Her dad left when she was like 12 years old. She basically raised her brothers and sisters on her own.
Hold on, what? She has brothers and sisters?
I guess so. And she's the
So
oldest.
she has she
And
has
at some
aunts.
point, she burned bridges with everyone. Forever.
Oh, wow. Did I know this? I kind of remember, but it feels like a blur.
So she has family
Have we
somewhere.
talked about this before? Did I forget that too? That's not what's important right now. You know, Jan, I don't think that Marie has anyone. Not really. She doesn't want to. She can't. She doesn't know how to trust.
True. That is the one thing that's beyond her reach.
But it's not beyond ours. We need to trust each other, otherwise we're screwed. You understand?
Of course I understand. I've spent years trying to get her to pay attention to me. And I don't feel like fighting all the time. Not against you, anyway.
We don't have to anymore.
What? You mean, now that she's fucking dying?
No, I mean, we can decide to do things differently. We
It's
don't
never
have
too
to
late.
play by her rules, where everyone's out for everyone. Kill or be killed. I think that's... I don't know. It might be her history, but it doesn't have to be ours. I'm not even sure she even believes it herself, actually. I'd rather believe that there are people I can always count on. And that they can count on me because I love them and I care for them. People like you, Dididu. Is she crying?
Sorry. I don't know what's going on with me.
What kind of tattoo is that? Is that
I'm
a
scared,
rose?
you know? For Mom. I don't want her to die.
Right now, she's still alive. And you know her, she's not going down easy.
I don't think you're anything like a lobster. I think lobsters are disgusting.
Is that right? Me too, come to think of it.
Billy, oh, thank you so much.
Ugh, crap.
Thank you
What?
so much for
Is
the
it the
Prime Gaming.
doctors?
Thank you for the 33
Oh,
month
look.
and welcome.
Alex,
Good evening.
you should answer.
Thank you so much.
Are you sure? Are you gonna be okay?
Ask me again and I'll slap you. Of course I'll be okay. You're coming right back, aren't you?
You bet I am, little sis.
Alex.
I don't know what would have happened between your dad and I if you were still here. Would we have agreed on
Was
how to
briefly
raise
looking
you?
like a
The
butterfly.
kind
Maybe,
of
yeah.
values to impart?
It was asymmetrical. Kind of values.
Respect others, be curious and open-minded, and try to beautify the world. At your age, that mostly meant avoid picking your nose in public. I don't think we would have had any trouble getting along in the end. We were on the same wavelength. I trusted him 100% from the first day I met him. He's got that little something in his eyes. This uncanny kindness that's always there.
God damn it, Junon.
Okay, pretend I didn't say anything, huh? Hello, Alex. How are you doing, Alex? Oh, I'm so glad to hear from you, Alex.
Did you take it?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I know exactly what he's talking about. I just have no desire to talk about it right now.
Understandable.
The house. Astrid's dollhouse. It used to be in my office and now it isn't. And I need it for work. I'm using it as a reference for level design.
Can I call you later? Hold on, where am I right now?
Level design? Uh-huh.
I guess I wandered into a decommissioned part of the hospital. Ooh, it was kind of spooky.
I hate hospitals.
No, you cannot call me later. It's easy. Just tell me if you have it. It will take 2 seconds.
Your dad is getting on my nerves. I'm sorry, but it's true. All right, Alex, listen. Okay, come on, keep your cool. Try and be mindful.
I have no idea where that house is. I'm going to hang up now.
I have no idea where that house is.
I really don't know. I think.
And since we're talking about last week, actually, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have showed up unannounced. I don't know what came over me.
What does that mean? Wasn't it nice to see each other again?
Good.
You and I never got to talk about some stuff. The birds and bees, how grown-ups cuddle. Although we did have the chance. But I was never comfortable with the idea. Marie wasn't a fan of mother-daughter conversations. When I had my first period, do you know what she told me? Just make sure you don't stain the couch. So, I guess as a result, I'm not too good with personal matters either. But still, I have a fond memory of that moment. I had become a woman, just like her. It was astonishing, almost an animalistic feeling. I felt strong, powerful.
That's not the point.
That's besides the point. I don't know why I did what I did. I don't even know why I went to your house.
Because you wanted to see me.
Why?
It's true. I'm telling you, I have no idea why I went. Maybe it was out of habit? I think that's one of the reasons why I fell in love with Alex. His way of figuring stuff out has always fascinated me. I couldn't figure out a character's story arc. He figured it out. I couldn't get in touch with producers. He figured it out. I couldn't live without you. He figured it out. Or he tried. I believe that's why I went to see him last week. So he could figure it out for me. Except I didn't even know what my problem was on that day.
If only it were that simple.
If only it were that simple. Anyway, it was really stupid, and I probably hurt you.
Come on, June, stop that. Last week you were happy. For the first time since I can remember.
What would you know? We haven't seen each other in months.
That is true. And it wasn't my call. You're the one who left. And I respected your choice. I learned how to live without you. And you showed up on my doorstep out of fucking nowhere? What am I supposed to think?
Yeah, he's totally right about that.
So it was me who was breaking up. Interesting. Enjoy War Thunder, dear Billy. Thank you for the lurk. Enjoy the rest of the evening as well. Thank you so much. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Alex. I truly am. I know you're angry and...
I'm not angry.
But I was in a bad place. I didn't know what to do. I needed to see someone.
Why not your sister then? Or call a girlfriend? Even your mother, for that matter. You came to see me because I know what you are feeling. I understand your pain. Don't you think?
No, I don't think so.
He's hurt too. I couldn't click that. You don't understand anything.
You don't understand anything. Well, if you really understand, then why do I... Why the hell do I feel so alone?
Guess it's my behavior. Cascada, thank you so much for the raid. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I was lurking earlier a bit. How were the rounds? No watch. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you're doing well. And I hope you enjoyed the stream. Oh, Tatami! Cascading Dominion. Hello. No, hi, Tatami. Hello there. Rita from Cascada. Hello, Cascada. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for the raid and trusting me, your community. Thank you. No, we're not gonna ban. Don't be too cheeky. Hi, Tatama. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. How were the rounds, No Watch? We're playing a visual novel today. It's quite emotional. Yeah. But I didn't cry so far. We'll see if that's gonna happen. Alone.
No one can understand what I feel, ever. No one can tell me how to live with this, how to do this. It's a gaping hole in the fabric of life, and living with that big a hole in you is...
You had good games, Sophie? That's good to hear. I'm glad. Most important part is that you guys are enjoying yourselves. Since Tatami will turn on Twitch protection again. Yes. Oh, we have a toothbrush here. That's new. Flying around. A little mirror. The book.
Do you remember your dollhouse? Marie gave it to you. She had built it herself in secret. It was really detailed. There were even miniature figurines of Alex and I for you to play with. Of course you remember. You took to it immediately. You were making up all kinds of stories about daily life where you were the hero. It's true.
Stop pinning messages, Tatami.
I stole your house from Alex and threw it away. I don't know why. Could you forgive me? If I had a really good reason?
Oh wow, we're inside of the dollhouse. Okay. Pauline.
This is Pauline, your father's new girlfriend. Actually, we've known her since high school, but I haven't seen her in a while. When I went to Alex's house, I was kind of hoping I would get to see her. I was curious. She's a great girl, you know. I'm sure your dad will be happy with her.
I was curious what it was. I was just joking.
To be honest, I always wondered why he picked me over her back then.
Oh, I can't go here. Okay. We're zooming out this time. Work.
Your dad is still making video games, but he quit the big company he used to work for. Now he's making a game on his own. I don't know much about it. I think it's about you. In a way, every game he ever worked on talked about you. The games you were playing together actually gave him tons of ideas for his work.
Is that a switch? Some kind of... Oh, the scenes are switching a bit. Maybe even a Steam Deck, yeah. Steam... a Switch light, not a Steam light.
I thought Alex had after you passed. I never wondered where it was. I just forgot about it.
He passed.
Some people say that the dead haunt houses. I was afraid that you would haunt that one. Afraid to hear your voice if I stared at it for too long.
House.
Alex moved into this place with his new girlfriend about a year ago. He looked happy. Suburban homes aren't my thing, but I was relieved that he had finally left the apartment where the three of us had lived.
I think we're going back again. I can't do much more. Moved on.
When I learned that Alex and Pauline were moving in together, I thought he had turned the page. Do you want to know what I felt? It's complicated. I think I was impressed. Once more, your father had demonstrated that he was stronger than me, and I'd like to say that I was happy for him. But in truth, I envied him.
Hi, people. I'm doing okay. What about yourself? Welcome to the stream. Good evening. Melancholy.
I pictured Alex alone in his office, using his job as an excuse to play with your house. I found that pitiful. That didn't fit at all with the idea I had of him, always moving forward,
Good. That's
never
good to
moping
hear.
around.
Glad.
And then I realized that maybe he wasn't telling me everything about his feelings.
Come forward.
Your father had everything. A new girlfriend, a nice house, his life on track. Meanwhile, I was over here, toiling, slowly crawling out of the hole. And I needed to see him, so he could comfort me. Just like before, I thought he owed me that.
Cocaine,
He
okay.
started doing it at work, just so that he could meet his deadlines. Sometimes we did it together, at parties for fun. Oh, all right, I know it's bad, but when we knew that you were coming, we stopped. And that's why I was surprised to see some at his place last week. He tried to hide it, but I laughed in his face. I'm not his mom. Still, though, I thought to myself it was a bad sign.
I would agree here. All the comments over there. Silence.
Alex looked gaunt. Not just because of the blow, it was like he'd been crying. I tried to talk to him, ask him how he was doing. He just dodged the question. So I insisted, but he said he wanted to show me something, and he started a video game. Something called Night Call. A murder mystery noir where you play a taxi driver. It was really good, but it's hard to have a conversation with a controller in your hands.
Wait, was this something? No, it wasn't. He hates me. I hate him. He loves me. I don't know what to take here. I hate him.
Perhaps I threw away that house because I was mad at Alex. His whole stuck in nostalgia thing, I found it incredibly offensive. Perhaps I threw away the house to shake up Alex, to get a reaction from him, so he could be mad at me, so he could snap out of his lurch. Perhaps I threw away that house because I was jealous of Alex's new life. In fact, I might have wanted to show your father what he was losing by losing us.
Okay. Okay, they're looking a bit
We had
weird
a great
here.
night in the end. We drank beers, we played, we laughed, and after a while,
I
he
mean, oh
asked
yeah,
me
of course.
what I
It's.
was
I mean,
doing
it's a
there.
dollhouse.
Really, I thought about telling him the truth, but instead I kissed him. I don't know what came on
Close
me.
your eyes. Look.
He kissed me, and more. It was very nice. Much more intense than it used to be before. And it made me want to cry because that was way too late.
To all of them. Oh, that's definitely perspective change.
Perhaps I threw away that house because that was my gift to him. Perhaps I thought he needed this old relic out of his life.
It's the moment where
Like
Mimi
he
starts to
needed me
beatbox. I can't do that. No. I'm sorry. I'm hurt.
I'm sure all of that contributed to my reaction to a certain extent. I was jealous, a bit petty, conflicted, and on top of that, I was a dollhouse thief. But there was something else,
Dollhouse thief.
something that really hurt me, and that I'm only understanding now. I was ashamed.
He's hurt too.
I came to demand support from Alex. I thought it was unfair that he was already happy again. But when I came across that dollhouse, I realized that he missed you as much as I did, which is actually why I threw it away. That's the reason. The dollhouse was proof that for years I had been blinded. I was ashamed to only realize now that he too was hurting.
I understand your pain. Don't you think?
How is this possible? How did I not realize that he was hurting too? And how come he never told me about it? Well, how about you, Alex? Should we talk about that?
What? What do you mean?
How many times have we talked about Astrid together? About her death? Dozens of times? Hundreds, maybe?
That's because we needed to.
I did.
I needed that. That was the only thing I could talk about, and Alex was always there to listen to me, to check how I'm doing, to inquire about my feelings, to assess my needs, to ask if there was anything else he could do. And I never asked him any questions. Not a single one.
Are you sure about that?
Are you sure about that?
What do you mean, am I sure? You were devastated.
And you? How did you feel?
Come on, again with this shit. Pauline is always trying to make me talk to. I don't have anything to say. What am I supposed to say?
There's no way you never felt the need to talk about those feelings. That whole time when you finally got me to calm down and fall asleep? How did you feel? What did you think?
I don't know. I can't remember. Why are you dragging this up now?
Because I never thought to ask you back then.
Well, that's all right. I'm okay. I was okay. It's not your fault.
He's still doing it. He's still trying to protect me all the time. He needs to understand that things have changed.
No, maybe not.
No, maybe not. Anyway, I probably wouldn't have listened to what you had to say. I was unable to. But now I'm thinking to myself that, well, it wasn't fair. You know, I just realized something, and I'm so ashamed about it. You're hurt too, and that didn't even occur to me until now.
I was thinking about you.
Not about Astrid?
When I was alone at night, I was thinking about what I needed to do to help you get better. That's all I thought about. You needed me. That kept me going. And now that you're no longer here...
Out of there.
I lived in fear of everything for a long time. Fear of making the wrong choice, fear of making mistakes, fear of not being good enough, not smart enough. And Alex was an antidote against all these fears. At least, as long as they were all in my head. But you know, since what happened to you, I haven't feared anything. Perhaps because I don't have much left to lose.
I can take care of myself.
I can take care of myself. You were the best support one could hope for. And that's why I now feel confident to do it on my own. You're free now.
Free from what?
Free to face your own emotions and deal with them, to heal your own pain.
You know, if I ever think too much about her, about how much I miss her, I have to stop. It makes me dizzy, it scares me. I'm pathetic.
Of course you're not. I understand.
I'm trying to live with it, you know? But missing you on top of missing her, it's too much. I need you.
Listen, Alex. How do I tell him?
Yesterday she rapped freestyle with the beatbox and no, I didn't. That's a lie, Des. It was very nice.
It was very nice. But it was also completely stupid.
Don't say that. Why are you saying that?
You know why. We can't be doing this. Things are different between us now.
They don't have to be. Things could even be better.
Stop it.
You know I'm right. Deep down you know it. Everything that happened to us, it helped us. There was a reason. Maybe all of this means we are supposed to come back together. Stronger.
Bullshit.
Why?
What about Pauline?
Pauline is... great. I'll talk to her. It will be hard, but she'll understand.
What will she understand? That your crazy ex has suddenly decided to return after dumping you after she killed your...
Don't even go there.
That's a really stupid idea, Alex. People don't change. And you know how I am.
I do. I've known since day one.
The day we met.
We met in high school, as juniors. It feels like a lifetime ago. We only had one class in common. Film studies. And we had completely opposite tastes. But I immediately liked something about him. His high-speed internet. Hey, back in the day, it was a precious gift. Especially in our podunk town. All of a sudden, you could pirate movies from all over the world. A dream. We spent hours on end in Alex's bedroom. I'm sure his parents thought we were having sex. They were a charming couple, always smiling. They let Alex do whatever he wanted. I was super jealous. We watched tons of movies, lying on his bed, chomping on candy. I was obsessed with film. It felt like discovering a new world. And when I requested a boring 3-hour movie, the next day, we would play a video game. Actually, it's not as lame as it sounds, I promise.
Don't you think about it? Don't you miss it? Don't you want everything to be just like before?
I think...
From the ground up. I missed it.
Yes, I think I do.
It's not too late.
You really think so?
I know so.
I'm on my way then.
Like, now?
Yes? Shouldn't I?
Yes. Yes, come over.
Wait for me, I'm coming.
I don't think that's a good idea. Why not?
After all, why not? Maybe he's right. Maybe I was just wrong about all this. That wouldn't be the first time I screwed up. The three of us were so happy together. Maybe Alex and I can still be happy.
Let me see which item this is gonna be this time. Maybe the toothbrush. The book, it's the book, The Hero with 1,000 Faces by Joseph Campbell.
You know, my little fawn, in life, you only have two ways out. Either escaping or disappearing. But sometimes, you're unable to disappear. And escaping from yourself, well, that sure ain't easy.
I don't think you can do this.
So, when that happens, in your opinion, what's left to do?
This book is really existing, really? Funny.
We can try to find out together if you want.
Funny. You know, I was looking up because we saw the card plate quite often. It was 71 at the end. And Google is saying the card plate with a 71 number is from Saône-et-Loire, from this area. Interesting. All right.
When Diane and I were
Terrifying.
little, Mary would tell us bedtime stories. She would make up animal fables with all kinds of mystery and conflict. savage world, she called it. Female wolves, bears, or scorpions would find themselves in imminent danger, but they could always manage it on their own, swindling and betraying the boorish, idiotic males. Marie wanted us to be strong, courageous, and independent women. Except, it also made me a bit fearful of the world.
So did I click on the terrifying one? Congrats, Newbie. Oh, that's definitely me. Is that a pizza?
Alex gifted started
Self-help?
as a joke, but as time passed, there were more and more.
So bring the funny, the essential companion for the comedy screenwriter, thinking fast and slow. Save the cat.
It goes back to the film studies days in high school. We barely knew one another. The teacher had prompted us to write a few scenes from a comedy, and I couldn't do it. And then one morning, your dad gave me a book and told me, check this out, since you're so not funny. Bring the funny, the essential companion for the comedy screenwriter. It made me laugh. And, well, truth be told, I was charmed that he cared about me. So I read his dumb book, and believe it or not, the next few scenes I wrote were really funny. But then it turned into a habit. Every time I had an issue, Alex would find the book to address it. Some of the worst titles, too. How to Win Friends and Influence People, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, Who Moved My Cheese? I was reading them casually, but they still helped me move on. Alex would call it the emergency library. Every problem has a book, he said. But when I found myself alone, the library didn't work anymore.
Alive?
At first, I stayed in the apartment for days. I wouldn't go outside. I barely recognized my own voice when I opened the door for food deliveries. I could have disappeared. No one would have known. Yet, amid the silence, if you listen carefully, you can hear some things. The air traveling through the lungs, the bowels gurgling, the teeth grinding, even a heart
Looks like an
beating.
interesting book. Yeah, I'm also very curious about that because that book is everywhere. Pretty much every scene it's there, you know? Dependent.
That much is clear now. In fact, Alex and Marie are like two sides of the same coin for me. Marie was a model of strength, of courage, and determination. Everyone admires her, but she is completely unattainable. Alex was my crutch, my unwavering support. I came to believe that I would crumble without him, and I was dependent on her as much as him. Unable to manage on my own, but that was before.
It's times like these where I wish I could read. Josh, you're typing this literally. You troll. It's looking like a Germany flag down there. Alone. I read this word so many times today.
I guess you understand now, my little fawn. Your dad and I separated, and for the first time in my life, I was living alone. At 34 years old, I had no idea how to do that. And he didn't fix everything. But come to think of it, it may be the reason I began looking for who I really was.
I can't zoom in anymore. Why? Oh, there you go. I had to press very hard. It's weird seeing me multiple times here. Very interesting technique. With the sound effects.
I
Boxes.
lived surrounded with cardboard boxes for months. I was unable to open
Oh, I
them.
thought this is my
It was
stomach grumbling.
physically
It's the
impossible,
telly.
But it didn't bother me much. I've never been a homemaker anyway. Also, if I had an off day, I could always blame it on those boxes. Instead of blame it on the life that was put away in those boxes. I
Fiction.
think I just figured out why I love movies so much. When I was a teenager, my life didn't seem real. I couldn't say for sure that I existed, but in movies, people had pure and intense emotions. I loved that. Any fiction
Nice,
was a
Phenex.
documentary
To be honest,
me.
I also
When
need to
found
listen to this
myself
song after
alone,
stream
I fell back into that zone.
to
I
lift up
watched
my mood.
hundreds of movies, obscure comedies, blockbusters, absurd schlock. I was looking for a template that would explain to me how to feel. Except it didn't work this time. I needed more.
Makes you so happy to listen to it. I know, right? I don't know why it's so uplifting and I'm smiling so much. I want to listen to this song together. You're baking cookies? Nice, Newbie. Insomnia. Oh, I was at this face. It's horrible.
From the day you died, I had been sleeping a lot. I was still tired when I woke up, but at least it passed the time. Then everything changed. Sleeplessness kicked in. I spent my nights trying to understand, what am I still doing here?
Oh, this is hard. What am I
Do
missing?
you remember?
The mug.
Every morning you would drink your hot cocoa from it. I had to take it out of the dishwasher so many times. You wanted nothing else. It was in a box for a while. I thought about it, sometimes when I thought about you. It was there. One day I pulled it out of
Every
one of the
morning hot
boxes.
cocoa, that's
I wanted
definitely
hot
you.
cocoa, and it slipped out of my hands.
Me going through a sad portion of the game. Me cookie, 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 cookie.
My heart skipped a beat in that moment. I held my breath for 1 second. And then... nothing. I just picked up the pieces one by one and threw them in the garbage. I wondered whether I was a monster for not feeling devastated. But now I know that I'm not. I was tired of being sad. Tired. I stayed strong. And it turns out that being able to do that changed everything. That day I realized that I was strong. And that I could do it. Alone.
Oh wait, I did this wrong. I need to left click, I think. Writing.
Then I understood. I turned on my computer and I started typing. Not a soap opera episode like I was writing before you died. It was something personal. And I think it was important. I was surprised to feel the desire to write, but now I understand how priceless it was. It allowed me to switch roles. I was no longer the grieving mother, or the young divorcee, or the daughter of. I was writing. I was becoming an author. I was inventing a reality that was just as valid as another.
I forgot that we were also outside. Ja, so. From the ground up.
You know, I was telling the truth earlier when I said that there were only two ways out in life. But whether you escape or disappear, in the end you're doing the same thing. Now I understand that I had to find another way. And complete solitude allowed me to face the void. And to rewrite myself. It was the only way for me to change completely. From the ground up.
Don't you want everything to be just like before?
From the ground up?
Alex and I can reinvent ourselves. I know that we can. But that's going to require a lot more work. I would love for things to work out that way, Alex. Just like in the movies. But the scene when they get back together, the happy end, we all know that's not happening.
No, it's not gonna happen.
Too bad. You're at least as sexy as Ryan.
Yeah. And I definitely have better abs.
I noticed
Okay,
that the
now
other
he's
day.
flexing.
Is that new?
See? You're missing out.
I'm sorry things ended the way they did between us. I left because I was losing my bearings. And I felt like you were also going off track. You know, trying to convince us that we would be okay.
I was trying to help you.
That's the problem.
You couldn't have help. No.
You couldn't have. I was too sad. I was unable to listen. I couldn't keep leaning so much on you. I couldn't stand it. I had reached a breaking point. If I didn't make a big change, I would have... But I was not allowed to die. I had no right. So I tried living.
Without you.
All the people who matter to me have something in common. They all taught me that I could live without someone else. Marie taught me that I could live without a father. That I could exist as a woman in a world created for men. But she never taught me what it was like to be loved. Alex taught me that I could live without Marie. All of a sudden, I was worth more than I thought. And she much less than I thought. But what he loved the most about me was that he could be there for me. I don't hold it against him. We are who we are. He loved me, but he didn't help me love myself. And then you were there. And you taught me the most important thing. You taught me that I could live, even without Marie, even without Alex, even without you.
Without you.
Without you.
You know, I changed too.
I believe you, Alex.
So don't you think it may be a good time to try again?
We can't try again if we're strangers to each other.
Wow. That's a Nobel Wisdom Prize right there.
That's not even a thing.
Exactly.
Has Leo
You
actually
know,
sung for us before?
I
Yes,
don't know
he
if I
did.
should tell him this.
Sometimes it's also doing that, but most of the time it's during daytime. I just want to quickly to show his little face when he's doing that, you know. So Des, when are we gonna get this other remix? This is too real. I know, right? It is. I miss you. I will always love you. I miss you.
I miss you. And although I left, you're always here with me. And oftentimes I think to myself that we could start something new. We'd hop in the car and road trip through Ardèche. I would take off my flip-flops and rest my bare feet on the dashboard. And you would yell at me because that's nasty.
That is definitely nasty.
Oh, nastier than your damn Tupperware up in the fridge?
Nastier than your clumps of hair in the bathroom sink?
Probably not. But then I realized that all of these are memories. Some are good, many are, but some are dreadful. Those memories with you, they're too much to handle. Which means I don't have a choice. I have to leave it all behind. You understand?
Then, what about last week?
Look, Alex, I don't want to hurt him, but...
Dude, Alex is making it very hard. He got a very nice voice, and she said he's looking like Ryan Gosling. This is... Alex, don't! Don't tempt me! I am going to hang up now.
I'm going to hang up now. I blew off Diane to pick up the phone, thinking this was an emergency.
But it is an emergency. I'm sure Diane will understand.
Alex, you don't know.
Fine. The one time I need your help...
Oh, poor guy. He's about to feel very bad about this.
No, Esther, no! No!
Oh well, that was
It's
his
not
dumb
gonna work.
choice.
If you wish one, I shall make one.
Alex, I'm at
Des,
the
that would be
hospital.
awesome. That would be absolutely awesome.
Oh shit.
Like the Cockatoo
Are you
remix
okay? What happened?
in Media
Or was
Share.
it Diane?
Don't worry, I'm fine, and so is your dear Diane. It's my mother. She had...
Oh,
Really?
I should be happy that he's relieved, but man, that's harsh. But let's be honest, Alex has never been too keen on her anyway. Do you want to know how he described her? The mug of a James Bond villain, the personality of a public restroom, and the pictorial style of a drunken tardigrade. I'm sure he thought that she was being unfair to me, and that annoyed him. So he avoided her as much as possible. The worst part is that she loved him, but he could see right through her. Marie's self-assurance, her way of
That description was
looking
funny,
down on
yeah.
everyone. He often told me that he wasn't buying it, that it was pretend. Alex
But imagine your
didn't
partner's
like
thinking
that
of this of
I
your
wasn't
family.
as critical of Marie as he was. He probably
You're gonna
thought that I
use
was a
that.
bit,
Do that.
masochistic. I wasn't. It's just that I'm her daughter, and she's my only mother.
All right. I am gonna turn off the light for the birds, so the big light, and I'm gonna grab some water, and I'm gonna be right back. 2 minutes. Hello, I am back. Is Mimi muted, or is her avatar? Oh, I don't know if sometimes when the birds are a bit louder, my avatar is also reacting to that. I'm sorry about that. I was speaking. I I heard that Zazu was singing, so I guess he was just very loudly singing. Alex, this is my mother we're talking about. I know you're not exactly fond of her.
Wow, I know you're not fond of her.
Thank
but
you, guys.
still.
Thank you.
What happened to Our Lady of the Paintbrush? I know it was in her heart. She doesn't have one.
It's kind of rough to hear this.
That doesn't sound like Alex. Not at all. What's happening to him? Is he drunk? It's a bit early to start drinking. Should I be worried? Or perhaps I shouldn't say anything.
It's not funny, Alex.
It's not funny, Alex. It's not funny. It's actually pretty insensitive, which is not like you. Are you okay?
Come on. It's just a joke.
Except nothing is ever just a joke.
Anyway, what do you care if I'm okay?
I mean, I care about you, and
Oh, sorry. Are you doing a stand-up routine now? Hopefully that works out better than movies did.
Right, I don't know what's going on, but I have no time for this, okay? So I'm just gonna hang up now.
Yeah, you hang up. You can call me anytime, day or night, even show up at my house unannounced. I'm here, no worries. But if it's the reverse, I can go right onto hell.
That's unfair, Alex. I don't...
Unfair? Really? Have I ever not been there for you?
What is that supposed to mean?
I wanted to click not anymore. Are we keeping score?
Are we keeping score? That's news to me. I never asked you to...
I
be
thought you were on
there.
my side,
I
Ezra
don't owe
Nix.
you a thing, okay? Just call Pauline if you're looking for comfort.
That's too easy, Junon. Giving up on me now that you no longer need me.
Alex, it's been almost 2 years
What
since
if I had done that to you when Astrid died?
Oh, go fuck yourself, Alex.
Asshole.
What a dumbass! How dare he bring you up in the middle of all this? He never forgave me for what happened, but he's too cowardly to tell it to my face. He's right, though. I don't know how I would have managed if he weren't there when you... And on top of that, I hold him responsible. I guess I'm an ungrateful bitch, huh?
Went up on me, yeah. What's this? What is this thing called? The sand tree. In German, we're saying wonder tree. To this. Need to click on the mirror.
Of all the stories I know, this is probably the least funny one. Although it's not like any of these has been particularly fun so far. But sometimes, well, thinking back about darker things does help shine a light on them. And actually, I think this one ends well, all right? I'll tell you this story.
Interesting day and night circle here. Oh, okay. With right click, I can switch the scenes. Okay. But can I click on something? It's creepy. This is nice. I always thought this is a German thing, but to be honest, I also thought this for a long time. Then I saw Breaking Bad with the washing. Can you see saloon? They were also selling it there. Yeah, that one was looking pretty, right? Oh, that's cute. Washing my hair. Fuck. boxes. Placing stuff here. Taking a bath. It's funny, nobody's using the bathroom for the toilet. They're never pooping. Dude, who's putting this up again? Let's go. There's a robin inside. Marie.
Marie was a grandmother who was often angry. As a result, she and Junon did not talk much. It was too exhausting. And then one day, Marie calls.
Junon.
Junon was a mom who had made a huge mistake. She had bruises everywhere, a broken arm, her skull was split. It wasn't a pretty sight, but Alex didn't mind and still took care of her. Junon was quite sure that she didn't deserve it. And then one day, she gets better.
Astrid?
Astrid was both a little girl and a very big girl. When she turned 4, she decided she would brush her own teeth. She was so eager to grow up.
Astrid
Then
is
one
a
day,
small girl?
Astrid
Or was a small
disappears.
girl?
Alex was a great dad who took good care of his child. He showered her, cooked her food, invented games for her. Anytime the little girl was home, his deep laughter would shake the house's walls. And then, one day, Alex no longer feels like laughing.
This is making me very sad. Astrid.
Time passes, but a big little girl doesn't just disappear. She leaves toys and drawings lying around, and all kinds of fist-sized marks, like tiny little clenched fists punching holes into Junon's heart.
I want to see the robin again. For some reason, the color of the sun made me think of Dying Light, the game. Oh, because of the red colors. This is pretty heavy, yeah. It's very heavy. Alex.
Time passes, and Alex is still standing. He misses his daughter. He misses laughing, too. But he doesn't show it. He's taking care of everything. He cleans up, he cooks, he washes. He wants people to know that he won't crumble down.
Marie.
Time passes, and the phone rings. Again, and again, and again. Junon doesn't know what Marie wants, but she can guess. Marie was there when Junon made her big mistake. And if Junon picks up, they'll have to talk about it. Junon can't forgive herself. So the phone rings, and nobody answers.
Junon.
Time passes, and Junon's body fixes itself. The bones heal, the bruises fade. Doctors call it a miracle. Junon doesn't agree. But these doctors are no good anyway. They didn't even notice that Junon's heart is strewn all around.
I'm always scared of a game telling me when it skips time like that. Like having a go zone. I don't think this is one of these kind of games, but I know what you mean. The topic is way too sad to do stuff like that, you know?
Marie keeps on calling. When the accident happened, Marie knocked her head. She looks like she's better now, but Junon is still thinking that she almost killed her. Her too, she might add, so she's not picking up.
Alex.
One day, Alex puts away every hint of Astrid into a big box. The apartment seems a bit empty all of a sudden. But it is what it is. And Alex isn't crying.
We got scared. The little game when I don't do the vampire. Yeah, he scared me so much. It's a horrible feeling to put your things into a box. It's actually really horrible. I hate that. And that's like the end of the chapter. Yeah, and I think they broke up because they lost their child. Because of this accident.
Alex wants to rescue Junon from her sadness, wash her hair, cut her nails, spoon feed her. He wants to be the guy you can rely on, to walk back home when you're tired. But today, Junon is not walking back.
Feels really redundant. I think this is how she is literally feeling. She's just functioning. She's on autopilot.
Junon doesn't want to be saved. Not by Alex. Not by anyone. She puts her finger through the candle flame to feel the bite. She wants to hurt. Just like that time. Broken bones and ripped up flesh. She's angry that her heart is still beating. And then one day... Are you sure you want to know the rest of the story, my little fawn? I hadn't prepared anything. I was just going to wash up. I had closed the door, taken off my clothes, turned on the shower, and I started crying. I couldn't stop. I couldn't go on. I had medicine for my broken heart. And I decided to swallow it all. Your toothbrush was on the edge of the bathroom sink, which made me think of my very big little girl. Her smile full of toothpaste. I thought that maybe I too could give it a try, but I had forgotten how to. I put those little pills in my mouth, and they tasted funny on my tongue. I just needed to swallow them. And right at that moment, the phone started ringing.
Dear Karika, thank you so much for the raid. Thank you, I appreciate it. I hope you had a good stream. Thank you for the raid. Hope you're doing well. Good day to you. Hello. Or good evening. Greetings.
Marie
Thank you so
didn't ask
much.
me why I didn't answer the phone for a whole year. She started
I'm
talking
trying to
as
hold
if
back
nothing
my
happened.
my
I was crying too much. I couldn't answer. So
my
she
tears.
told me she could wait. And she waited until the last tear was shed. And then she told me something she had never told me.
Oh, you played Warcraft. Almost finished Warcraft. Oh, nice. How do you like it so far? Thank you for reminding me to drink something, by the way.
Perhaps one day I can tell you exactly what it was. But long story short, it meant she loved us very much, you and I. In that moment, I felt like an enormous weight was lifted off of my shoulders, as if she had given me the most beautiful gift. And then she changed the subject, as she does. She had a proposal for me. Her career was taking off, and she needed someone to do the clerical work. She knew I would do it well. She told me, "It's a boring job. I'm not doing you any favors, but you can do me one." I accepted.
It's an old classic, so very nostalgic. I had a feeling that you already played this one. I never played, actually, Warcraft 2. I'm glad you could relive the moments again, if you can say so. Thank you so much again for the raid. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Alex never learned what really happened that day. He panicked because he could no longer hear me, so he broke the door. But he was too late. It was all over already.
Not anymore.
That's it, my little fawn. That's the end of my story. If it weren't for Marie, I wouldn't be here to tell you, because she gave me more than words that day. She helped me understand that it was time I made my own decisions. That's the thing I figured out that night. And it changed me for the better. I would no longer rely on others to save me. Not on Marie, not Alex, not anyone else. I couldn't live like that. Not anymore.
So try to hold my tears, but my nose is running like... Yeah, I feel the same. It's insanely hard to lose someone.
Have I ever not been there for you?
Not anymore.
He didn't actually understand. He didn't get the dynamic we had and what it did to us. And me neither, actually. Up until today, I lived some sort of a misunderstanding. But it's over. It's true. You were there. Not just when we lost Astrid, you've always been there. I knew that whatever happened, you'd be there.
I needed that. I needed that.
It's not easy to explain why you fall in love with someone. There was no love at first sight between your father and I. We even lost touch after high school. And still, one night we went out on a date, and I immediately knew that it would last. There was something in his eyes. When he looked at me, I felt like he saw something invisible, something wonderful, something valuable. I couldn't believe, in fact, he was looking at me. I was really anxious at the time about everything. But when I woke up at his place the next day, for a brief moment, the oppressive feeling had disappeared. It happened again when I saw him the next day, and the day after, and then after that, every time we met. In spite of the distance, I felt like I was taking drugs, and it was really good.
I hated it.
I hated it. I felt like I could never live up to your composure. I was full of doubts, insecurity, anxiety. I was a waste of your time, Alex.
I never thought so, ever.
Thank you for the alert,
know.
Karika. Thank you.
Being with you was
I
a
appreciate it,
gift,
and thank you again
but it had to
for
stop.
the raid.
After
90,
Astrid
thank
died.
you. Thank you so
You
much.
see my little phone?
Thank you so much
Even
for the
when
Prime
you're
Gaming.
gone.
Thank you for the 18-month. Thank you. I appreciate it. Good evening to you. Hello.
You're never very far.
That was the trigger even before.
Even before. I was just letting you lead me around. When Astrid died, I did what I always do. I leaned on you. You would have the answer. You would know what to do. But
No, you're so sweet, 90. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the support. It means so much to me. I appreciate it. Save me.
But now, though, I understand. This whole time, your poor dad was fishing out corpses. Not literally. Don't worry, I'm not going crazy. It's just, it reminds me of this story I read while doing research for a screenplay. The story of a guy named Wei Peng, a farmer in the Yellow River Valley who found himself a unique occupation. His cabin is 20 kilometers downstream from Lanzhou, an industrial city that attracts poor folks looking for work. And their life is so terrible that a bunch of them are committing suicide. Lanzhou is mostly known for its thermal plants, its factories, and the highest level of atmospheric pollution in all of China. That said,
Did we
there are
get back with
cities like
Alex yet?
Lanzhou all
No.
around the world.
But we
Every
realized
morning,
that
Wei
Alex
Peng
is
grabs
also
his
having
pitchfork,
pain,
hops into his
that he
small
was
boat,
really trying to help us.
and he searches the river. He's looking for bulky and soft lumps. Most of the time, they're goat carcasses. But every now and then, he finds humans. When Wei Peng manages to identify the body, he sells it. Otherwise, he buries it. His house is surrounded with corpses. He lives in a cemetery.
Bro hug.
I understood why people paid him. It's a horrible feeling not knowing what happened to a loved one. They were purchasing more than a mortal coil. They were purchasing peace of mind. But I didn't get why Wei Peng did it. How can you live with this job? Then I reached the end of the article. His own child died in that river. A kid your age, trying to retrieve a ball in the water. Wei Peng didn't know how to swim. He couldn't do anything. And now I understand Wei Peng. Just as I understand Alex. Some people find it easier to alleviate other people's grief than to deal with their own pain head on.
Yeah.
Maybe that worked for you, being in that position. As long as you were taking care of me, you wouldn't have to think about yourself or about Astrid.
Maybe I never thought about it that way.
Me neither, you know, I only understand this now.
Okay, then. Why? If I
You
thought
definitely
I
like
was
that,
helping you,
yeah?
but actually hurting, why did you come back to see me?
I really shouldn't have. I don't know what came over me.
I was happy to see you again.
Of course, I liked it too. But it also felt like a farewell.
Last week to me, that was just like before.
Alex? Are you still there? Marie had this weird rule back home. You only get to cry once. It didn't matter the reason, from bike falls to headaches to world hunger. She had this theory that there are two reasons one might cry. Either from surprise, when life sucker punches you, or from cowardice, when you give up on fighting back. You only get to cry once from surprise, she used to say. And there is no time for cowardice. Well, I think she forgot that there was a third possibility.
It feels like it's easier to help another person because you can see it from a different perspective. Whereas with your own problems, since you were in there, it's hard to figure out a solution, and more painful since you're in it. That's so true. That's very true. I am thinking the same, and I was thinking the same actually while I was listening to that. It's easier said to other people than you can't listen to your own advices. As Renix, you can't do that. It's not possible. A third possibility.
Sometimes you cry because you've mustered up the courage to look at life how it is.
If you're crying, I'm going to cry too.
Oh, if you're crying, I'm going to cry too. You'll never beat me at this game. I have a lot of practice.
Oh crap, Junon, I'm so sorry. You don't owe me anything. I guess I should leave you alone.
Yeah, well, haven't exactly made it easy for you.
But I'm not doing well, okay? Really, I'm not.
Wow. You don't get these heartfelt moments from him, ever.
I just wish, why didn't they talk like this when they were in the relationship, you know? Since I left?
Since I left?
Let me show you something.
He wants to video chat.
Oh, God.
Oh, wow. This is,
What is it?
Did I ever tell you the story of the
Lookout.
It's a very special place for us. We were driving, Alex, you and I. It was a really hot day. You had to be 2.5, maybe a bit more. You were already very bright, and you spoke very well. You were always cracking jokes, too. So when you told me your tummy was hurting, I didn't really believe you. I remember clearly thinking, oh, she's okay. And then hearing the sound. Like snow falling from the top of a roof on the first warm day. Except it wasn't snow. It was the worst pile of vomit I had ever smelled. When he saw your face in the rear view, Alex knew he had to stop
Oh
immediately.
no! Oh no!
He spotted some kind of rest area on the side of the road. But in the time it took for us to get there, the stench was so strong in the car, we could hardly breathe.
Oh
I
God!
didn't even wait for the car to stop. I jumped out, went for your door, and squeezed you against me. I didn't care if I got dirty. I just wanted you to feel good. I thought it was my fault. I should have listened to you. Your forehead was hot. It could be serious. I carried you out to the banister on the end of the clearing and laid you on the grass. Your face was pale and your eyes were bulging, and you started screaming.
Goodness. I don't even listen to myself when I say don't eat the entire ice cream tonight. Guess what? That's something else, though. I can cry harder than you.
Oh, dear. You were vomiting, looking up, staring in the
It's not a
distance,
competition.
screaming, oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. And I didn't understand. I kept asking you, what's wrong, baby? Patting your back, pulling your hair away from your face to help. And there was a pit growing in my stomach and my eyes were welling up. I was terrified, and your dad was terrified. You were smiling. You pointed in front of you. Oh, dear. Oh dear! Oh! So we turned around. And on the other side of the banister, there was a cliff going straight down. And down below, there was a prairie stretching between two leafy bushes. And in the middle of the prairie, there was a deer.
Oh dear,
Could
a
have
deer.
written this whole scene. He was standing tall beneath the sunset, as if holding it with his antlers. And he was looking at us, completely stunned. He was magnificent. Alex took a picture with his cell phone, and you kept repeating, "A deer, a deer," clapping your hands when he finally jumped out into the bushes. Wow, we were in a daze, you know. We couldn't believe the beauty of what we'd just seen. And then you vomited one last time on your dad's shoes. And that day, you became the world's greatest deer fan, my little deer.
What are you doing over there?
What are you doing over there?
Do you recognize the place?
Of course I do. I'll never forget the lookout.
Every time I take this road, I have to stop. The other drivers don't get it, of course. They ask me if I need assistance, if I broke down or something. I'm just trying to enjoy the view.
Oh,
It's so
Alex.
beautiful. Today I came here just for that.
Why the sudden rush of nostalgia?
Did you see the deer again?
Did you see the deer again?
No. I never saw the deer again. I never see the deer again. And that really sucks.
Alex? You're scaring me a bit. You don't look well.
I'm not well. You were right, you know. This whole time I thought I was helping you. I thought you needed me so you wouldn't crumble. But that was a goddamn lie. I was the one who needed you. Even before Astrid died, I needed you. Helped Junon with her tyrannical mother, helped Junon with her screenwriting career. Shows Junon how to be happy. A good one. It was easier for me to think you had issues. But I was the goddamn issue.
It can't be easy for him to realize this, but he has to. At least I hope so.
You're not an issue.
You're not an issue, Alex.
And still you got out as soon as you had the chance. I know you can be forgetful when it suits you, but that's pushing it.
Amnesia.
I remember getting in the car with you. I remember waking up in the hospital with Alex by my side. But what happened in between, it's a black hole for me. Apparently that's pretty common. During extreme events, your brain does not generate memories. It's too busy surviving. I survived, which I guess means that my brain worked really well. But since then, it's been mulling over this one question. Was it all my fault? I was half expecting your dad to hold it against me one day, anyway. But it doesn't hurt any less.
That was really shitty.
That was really shitty.
I'm sorry. I'm just tired and sad. Do you want to know why I don't think about Astrid? The real reason? When I think about her, I say things to myself that hurt too much. That I will never see her again. That I will never hear her voice again. That I will never carry her to bed in my arms. How am I supposed to live with that?
If only I had the answer to that question.
It takes time.
It takes time.
Yeah, that's it. It takes time. Except the more time passes, the worse it gets. And I'm getting tired of waiting.
What are you saying? Alex, what are you saying?
This place is as beautiful as ever, you know? Really beautiful.
Alex.
Bye. Good luck.
Alex, don't. Alex? Alex! Shit, I gotta get over there. Shit, Alex.
I think I need to take a break here. It's very emotional, and I'm not sure if I can do the next chapter. Also, it's pretty late right now, so that's also a good excuse. I'm sniffing a lot, so I'm gonna stop this here. Lovely Burbles, thank you so much for watching the wreck with me, or playing this game with me. I hope you enjoyed it so far. If so, I'm gonna be back tomorrow at 9 p.m. CT again, as always. So yeah, thank you so much for watching.